Yes, man. Finally. Finally, man. Able to do an afterthoughts for a chapter. And I'm so glad that I'm able to do one for this one, bro, because there is so much to talk about this week, man. And this is one of those weeks that I'm really, really happy that I'm on YouTube. And at the very least, that I'm involved in this wonderful community. Because y'all always let me know whenever I missed out on something in the reaction, man. And whenever I read that comment, bro, and I look back on the chapter, and I'm like, it makes the chapter even better than it originally was, man. So shout out to y'all for actually caring enough to let me know whenever something, whenever I didn't notice something. I really do appreciate that, dog, because it does enhance the chapter. And that's why I like doing afterthoughts. After a chapter, so that way, in case anything is missed, we're able to talk about the greatness, and going like somewhere, dog. But yeah, man, I hope everybody's doing good, bro. Like I was saying earlier in the chapter thing this morning, man. November is usually really, really hard for me to get videos in, man. But I said screw it, bro. For One Piece, man, you gotta make an exception. You gotta make an exception for the best-selling manga in history, bro. Especially when it's going in this hard. And I thought it was appropriate for this chapter since Oda has been on such a roll here, releasing 921, 922, 923, and now 924. I thought it was appropriate to now finally just sit back and be able to talk about it. I actually have a few announcements for the next couple of weeks when it comes to the Awesome Sauce. Next week, I'm planning on doing a recon. I'm going to reread Wano sometime this weekend or next week. And then since One Piece is on break, I'm gonna do a recons piece. It's probably not gonna be live, but a recons piece going over the first act of Wano and really discussing it and diving into it, man, because there was a lot of great stuff in those chapters. So I want to go over them and go through the Awesome Sauce once more from 909 to 924. We'll be doing that. A quick question for, well, actually, I'll save that for the last of the announcements. At the end of the year, dog, I'm planning on having a chapter. You guys remember how earlier on in the year I had a chapter of the year stream, and that one was hard in of itself. I think I'm going to do another one in December. And that one is going to be really, really hard to do, bro. Because within that time span, from 909 coming out, which I think was the last chapter that came. No, it was 911. I think was the last chapter that dropped whenever I made that video. Chapter 911 dropped. Since then, we've had 13 chapters, and at least like 5 of them I could put in that list. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be really hard to make that list, but I think that's gonna make it fun. I just wanted to ask y'all because just so that I can know what I really want to do. My current plan is that I want to have other individuals on that stream. Now, would y'all rather have that be a solo stream like last time, or would you rather have it like have like multiple? Like if I were to invite like some other YouTubers or something to talk about our favorite chapters in the year, would you guys be interested in that? Because it's going to be really, really hard, man. It's going to be difficult because this year we've got, I believe it was from chapter 889 or 890, one of the two, up until what I'm going to assume is going to be like chapter 927 by the time it's all said and done. And if Oda continues to delve greatness like this, man, it's just going to make it even harder and harder. And then certain chapters that happened earlier on in the year, I'm starting to love more than I did beforehand, bro. Like chapter 908, I continue to say this, man, but chapter 908 is, bro, like I sometimes in my sleep, I just say instant messenger sama, man. I'm just like, I'm singing it, bro. That final panel spooks me, dog. Not even the final panel. The final like 2 pages of chapter 908 spook me, man. Like it's like, come on. It's difficult, bro. It's difficult. Yo! Well, first of all, shout out to everybody in the comments, man, for stopping by. But yo, best-selling manga in history just brought up a really, really cool idea. He says, do a chapter of the year tourney bracket. Dude, what do y'all think about that, man? What do y'all think about having a chapter of the year tourney bracket that will have like it'll the span, like the time span will probably be like 2 weeks, because you know how Weekly Shonen Jump usually has their final chapter of the year in like I think it's this like in the second or third week of December. So that would give us the last week of December and the first week of January possibly to go and really go in there in that tourney. I'm down for that, man. I'm down for that. I think that would be dope. I think the initial so with the tourney bracket in mind, I think that what we could do is we could do a poll the moment after the final chapter of the year drops. Do a poll asking people what their favorite chapter or what their top 5 favorite chapters of the year are. Then I'll calculate those and I'll take the top 10 from those and put them in a bracket. Well, actually, no, that won't work. I'll have to make it like a Sweet 16 or something. So like I'll take like the top 16 chapters from the year, and I'll have to do like a Sweet 16 or something. Unless I could do like a top 8, maybe like a top 8 would work. But with this year, with the amount of quality chapters we've gotten this year, I think I'm gonna have to make it a top 16, and have it be like the first seed to the 16th seed. Yo, that's gonna be crazy, man. Who's gonna be Alabama, bro? Like we're gonna have, I think chapter 907, 903 is gonna be like the Bama. That's gonna be one, but I don't know. But that's gonna be fun. Let me write that down actually. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. I think I like that. I'm gonna think about that. Thanks for the idea. Best-selling manga history, bro. Tourney for chapter of the year. I think that would be fun, especially considering if we could do that live. If we could do like the Sweet 16 live and have some other YouTubers on, I think that would be cool. But anyways, so we'll have that right there. Let me look at the comments real quick. Yo, what's going on, Karan Brown, bro? Yeah, what's going on, Yak, Kogami, Zodiac Hollow, Phantom D Saint, my boy Hazzy, and Scar, Marty One World, Nicholas, Astustash, RKS. What's good, yo? Ashutosh. I don't know why it's so hard for me to pronounce stuff that starts with an S. Like I remember for years it was hard for me to say Ashura. I said like Asura because I'm so used to saying Basura or something like that in Spanish. So I apologize for not saying your name right. Ashutosh, bro. Something about the ASH, man. There's always something about that. You know what it is? It's that I was raised with Ash Ketchum whenever I was younger, man. I blame Ash Ketchum, bro. Kogami says, also thoughts on people stating we're returning to Reverie after the break. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, man. I'm actually one of those people that believe that is actually like a 50. There's quite a big possibility that is going to happen, because we need to see how Oda is going to handle intertwining both storylines with the Reverie and Wano and having them collectively come to a climax in Onigashima, if that's what his plan is. Because if we don't go back to Reverie and time flies by, how are we going to know what happened there? Like, let's just say, let's take that in as an example. If we don't go back to Reverie for quite some time, then how in the flying flag nerds will we find out what happened? Seriously, the only way that I can think of us literally not going back to Reverie and finding out what happened afterwards is if something drastic happens to one of the revolutionaries and we find out afterwards, or Shirahoshi actually managed to get captured through the whole Caribou situation, which that has to still be resolved as well. You know, the Caribou Shirahoshi Kaido situation, which I would still love for Kaido to go up to the Holy Land. Maybe that's just me. It's like all that has to intertwine, man. Kizaru making his way to Wano. And if we want all those supernovas to show up in Wano, then, we're going to have to get Bonnie and whatnot to go down there. But it's like, how are we going to find out the aftermath of what really happened up there? Because I know Oda can do it. he'll sprinkle like these little mysteries here and then, like Dragon or Sabo randomly pop up in the middle of Onigashima battle. Not even that. Like Shirahoshi, like I said before, could get captured. But the thing is with the way that he ended it with chapter 908, that's the spooky thing that always gets to me. Is like, we know of the light that he wants to cleanse, and we know of those 4 that he has right there with Luffy, Shirahoshi, Blackbeard, and Vivi. So it's like, how fast do they want to go with this plan? So I don't know, man. All of them collectively could be in one place, and they could easily just Buster Call that thing right there and get rid of all 4 of them. But that would upset the balance. But anyways, getting off that. Going back to your initial question. I think if we this is just just personally, I think if we don't go back now, we go back before the 2 weeks end. And the only way that Oda does not do, or I'm sorry, not the 2, before we go 2 weeks into the future. And I think that the only way that well, technically a day has already passed between the day and the reverie as fast as well now. But anyways, before we get to the Battle of Onigashima, the only way Oda does not go back to that is if he has a massive surprise planned that we're going to find out either after the Battle of Onigashima or during the Battle of Onigashima. And I'm going to put all my bets on during the Battle of Onigashima. If Oda does not switch back to Reverie, that is when we find out something drastic that happened in Reverie. A possible death, like I said before, with a possible kidnapping, or, they're going to have to find out we as readers are going to have to find out what happened up there through some consequences that happened because of what there's no way that a declaration of war happens, especially with everything that was going on up there, and there's no consequences. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how Oda does this. But that's why I'm so excited. That's why this is honestly probably the most exciting time to be a fan of the series. Let me see. Oh, as he says, that depends though if it's the community's top or yours. Gotcha. That's also a possibility too. Doing like 2 different lists, or I'm sorry, 2 different videos for that topic. Bring more people like other YouTubers into a top 15 manga chapters where everybody tells their 10th favorite chapter, the 9th, and so on, and why they place to discuss awesome sauce. Okay, RKS. The Money Marsh says, "What's good, my man? We out here enjoying this week's chapter of Kaido Shippuden." Kaido Shippuden, yo. I love it, yo. It's going good, Money Marsh, though, man. And an interesting thing from the chapter was the fact that Sea Stone is carved by the people of Wano. It makes me wonder where things like Smoker's weapon came from. That's also a very good point too, man. And also Smoker as well, yo. Like, we know last time that we saw him, he was out there, damn near Vegapunk. So that's gonna be a curious situation. But now that you bring that up, I want to talk about this week's chapter, because this week's chapter. But before I do that, and go through page by page, let me charge my computer, because once I start going in, Coach. Once I start going in, man, you guys know how it is, bro. Once we start going in here, man, we don't stop. So let's go ahead and go through the chapter. If y'all want to open it up too as well, man, and we'll go through it slowly but surely. I have not been able to reread this chapter much today. It's been a long, crazy day, man. But I've been really, really excited to finally sit down and really digest all of this. I reread it once while it was rendering the video, and then that's about it, man. One more thing, actually, before I flipping go and dive into the chapter. Would you guys be interested in a Sulong episode reaction? Just hit me with like a yes or a no or whatever, because I really want to do that. I really, really want to do a Sulong episode reaction, man. Because chapter 808 or 888 was one of my favorite chapters last year. It really, really was. It was top 5 for sure. Probably even top 3. It was just such a great. Oda's always good at stuff like that, but that chapter in particular was just. It was goat. It was really, really goat. So, all right, hey, all right. Oh yeah, I see a lot of yeses. All right, cool. Awesome sauce. All right, I'll definitely do it, coach. I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do it, coach. Let me read this right quick. Zach Zoro says, possible that what happens in Reverie may be discovered through other individual events that result from what happened in the Reverie, allowing Oda to add as many Reverie things as he wants. Interesting. So you're saying that we find out eventually, but it doesn't have to be all at once. We find out what happened at the Reverie through like you said, through individual events that will eventually that we will eventually come to find out as readers. So it's like this massive event that happened at Reverie that none of us know about. And it would be hidden in the same way the government usually likes hiding their stuff, and we would have to solve the mysteries of what actually happened during the Reverie. I like that idea, Zach Zoro. I like that idea. But yeah, let's go right into the chapter. I'm going to be reading it on JBox, guys. I know usually during his Afterthoughts I read the Viz translations, but unfortunately that doesn't come out till Monday. You know what I'm saying? So let's go right into this. So start the chapter with the cover page right here. First of all, it's nice seeing Sentomaru again, but I think it's also a really nice touch to have the bears here in the background. Shout out to Kuma. I think that was most certainly intentional on Oda's part right there when it comes to Sentomaru with the bears in the background. When it comes to this first couple of pages right here, I saw a couple of y'all's comments. Specifically right here, whenever they are talking about being hit by Master Kaido's club. And a couple of y'all in the comment section were talking about how that could possibly indicate that Kaido's club is made of sea stone. What do y'all think about that concept? I think it would be interesting, but I feel like the club in of itself probably there's probably more to it than just that. But if his club is made of sea stone, it would explain how Luffy was one-shotted out of Gear 4th and deflated in an instant. That would definitely explain that. But at the same time, because it's Kaido, I'm not sure if I would necessarily. I mean, I would feel indifferent on it because I wouldn't 100% like it because. Somebody like Kaido, like the reason why I love the Divine Thunder, the Thunder Bagua. What the heck did Manga Stream call it again? They called it like the 8 trigrams, some Naruto technique, dog. They call the 8 trigrams. What was it? The 8 trigrams thunderclap. And but anyways, the reason why I like that technique so much, or I like that panel so much, is because it was just showing me that this man with the swing of a bat, with the swing of a club, has the same impact of like an almighty attack, of thunder raining upon your soul. With a single club, the fear of God is put into you, son. And I just found that to be such a God. It was such a perfect name for that type of, for that situation, for that scenario, especially the way that Oda was telling the chapter up until then. So and it wouldn't take away from that, but I'm not sure if I would be on board. 100% on board the idea of his thing being made of sea stone, but knowing Oda, he could always make me like that. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think about that? Let me see. Yo, what's going on, Christian, bro? What's good? Yo, my man, Brago, dog. What's good, Brago, man? What's good, bro? Let me see. 100% sea stone spikes. Oh, you think so? Best-selling manga in history? You think so? 100%? If it's made of sea stone, would be sick seeing it not affect. Yo, okay. I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that, Hazy. That is also a good point. I didn't see it from that perspective. I was more looking at it from the perspective of Kaido hitting Luffy out of it solely for the simple fact that it is made of sea stone. But how beast would it make Kaido look if whenever he holds this? He also, this club is made of sea stone. It does not affect him. Yo, I didn't even think about that. Shout out to Hazy. I didn't even think about it. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but that's dope. That is freaking beast. Yo, man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that just changed my. See, like I said before, man. That is why reading comments is always the best thing ever, bro. Just different perspectives, man. Because, like, I originally saw that as, like, a negative thing. But, dude, that like amplifies Kaido's beastness if that thing is truly made of sea stone. What? Like it kind of like, I'm unaffected by. Are you kidding? I'm unaffected by this. That's beast. I like that. So we continue on. I don't know what on the Flying Flagnar's Law thought he was about to do, but he was stopped immediately, man. Whenever Hawkins was shot, actually, talking about Hawkins for a sec, I cannot wait for the panel because you know it's coming, man. You know it's coming. Well, first of all, I'm really looking forward to seeing the future interaction that we have between X-Drake and Law, just based off of, the whole Corazon flashback and whatnot. But I'm looking forward to seeing that interaction after now having that knowledge. But I can't wait for the eventual panel whenever Hawkins has to join our side, bro, because I know it's going to happen, man. I know it's going to happen. After the way this chapter ended, there's just no way. And I know we speculated about this for years, saying, yes, the supernova are coming together to take on Kaido. But, there was a half and half little doubt. And when it came to who truly is under Kaido for what reason. But I think after this chapter, and after the way this arc has been going, I'm like 100% behind the idea that this man Hawkins will be on our side by the time that it's said and done. And I am really, really excited to see that panel, bro. I mean, Luffy, Kid, Law, Hawkins, bro, eventually X-Drake as well, man. It's going to be sick. And then, we throw in Killer, and I wonder how many of them will be seen here soon. I mean, unless all of them decide to show up when it comes to the supernovas, but for some reason, it's like, what reason would Arouge have to want to be here? But then again, in the chapter where Kaido was introduced, was the last time that we saw Arouge. Not the last time it was mentioned, though, because we know what last time it was mentioned. Last time Arouge was mentioned, this community was overflooded with Arouge memes, man. I mean, Arouge top 5 for days, doc, for days. That was a good day, bro. Shout out to Luffy vs. Cracker. What chapter was that? Like 838. That was good times. But anyways, aside from that, Hawkins gives us some very, very incredible information, which caught me, the Flagnards, off guard, man. Where he says the sea stone widely used around the world is originated from this country. Do you know how crazy that is, man? The fact that this is a place that is isolated from the entire world. They don't even know what Haki or devil fruits are. They do not know. And yet, so much of the stuff that is so important to us as One Piece fans that we associate with this series, it comes from here. Like, if you would have told me a bunch of years ago that the sea stone originated from Wano, I would have said you're crazy. That is, to me, that's out there. And then Hawkins just spews that. Like, seriously, man, if the original meeting place between Whitebeard and Roger from Marineford, and the place that Dr. Hiruluk was talking about, the Sakura Blossoms, is also Wano, this man Oda has put a lot into Wano, man, which has me really, really excited to see this climax. You know what I'm saying? It has me even more excited for post Wano, because when that's going to be revelation heaven, dog. I think we might get more information in post Wano than we have in any portion of this series. I think what we expected to get from the Reverie, we're going to be getting in post Wano in terms of info. Whenever, for years in the community, we kept saying the Reverie is going to be when we find out the most about the One Piece series up until the end. And I think after this, and even though that is kind of true, kind of, because, it's allowed us for speculation towards the end of the series. But that final panel, or I'm sorry, the that Im-sama panel, bro. The post Wano is without question going to be more than likely the stuff that gives us the most information about both for about and for the end of the series. I think even more than any arc that comes after it until we get to Raftel. Just based off of the Kozuki clan, just based off of the buildup, the years of buildup that we've had here in this arc, the fact that this arc is so isolated from everything, this island is so isolated from everything else. and the players are going to be involved, I think that we're definitely we're going to be getting a lot of information on. But that should be a given at this point. But anyways, it's also worth noting that Hawkins says that the only people capable of refining it to such a small size are the craftsmen of Wano. And Hawkins wouldn't just spew that if he didn't have knowledge on this concept. He says the only people capable of refining it are the craftsmen of Wano. The craftsmen of Wano are definitely some up there on the scale. Now then, man. Before I look at the comments, bro, y'all know me and y'all know my love for my MC, bro. You know, I have, in the world of anime and manga, man, everyone has, you know, their MCs, bro. I have a couple, man. And without question, one of my main C, bro, my main character is the king. And in this week's chapter of One Piece, bro, this man Luffy did what in every single manga that I've ever read, not even just manga, in anything I've ever watched or read, period. When there's an unconscious dude or person who is still fighting, or their will surpasses the limits of their body, and they're still doing something unconscious, that to me is always GOAT. I don't care what series does it. If they pull it off, it is a memorable moment from every series that I've ever watched. Every series that I've ever watched that has had that in it, it's a memorable moment for me. This dude, Luffy, it's the main character, bro. This man, Luffy, to Kaido. Kaido's men go up to him, and they get knocked out. I mean, bro, they are set to sleep, dog. They're like me watching some Netflix shows, bro. I mean, I am out, man. Out. I could be the most energized dude in the world. I start watching some garbage on Netflix, bro. I am gone. I'm sleep, coach. Look at this. Look at this. This dude right here foaming at the mouth, man. That's me watching some trash, bro. That's me watching Monday Night Raw sometimes, man. And I love me some wrestling, bro. But by God, has it been terrible for the past couple weeks. And bro, I mean, it's better than NyQuil, bro. It's better than NyQuil. Are you killing me? Look at this dude. He's foaming at the mouth. Falls back, dog. I mean, he couldn't handle the king. He couldn't handle being in the presence of the king, bro. I love this. Everything about this panel, about this couple of pages, is just fantastic to me. The fact that Kaido believes that he can break Luffy's spirit. The fact that Kaido believes that he could become a formidable soldier for us eventually. In the same way of like a Hawkins or an X-Drake or something like that, right? And little does he know, man, the undying spirit of my man Luffy, bro. But not only that, man, and this was actually, before I get into that, a really nice touch by Shuchimaru saying the Lord Odin's ability is that it's basically confirmed that Odin had the Hoshoku no Haki, the King's Haki, which is something that we could have speculated, and it's something that is definitely not far-fetched at all. But the main thing that I'm getting from that is that they always associate Odin as well with the voice of all things thing as well. So I'm going to assume that Momo eventually will have Conqueror's King Haki as well. I think that's not a far reach at all. But listen, man, with the hype on Luffy, bro, with me saying all of that, I already love this dude enough as it is. And I know how much of an undying will that he has. I mean, we saw him up in Drum Island. We saw, especially in the anime, man, where the blood was coming down his hands, bro, grabbing Nami and Sanji with his teeth as he went up, dog. That's undying will. After having your crew separated, going to save Ace by yourself in two of the most highly guarded places on the planet, that is undying will. To punch a Yonko with no remorse. Well, first, to head into a Yonko's territory with no remorse, that is undying will. To go and punch the dude who was known as the strongest creature, that is undying will. But to be unconscious, there's just something about that, right? To be unconscious and to deliver that, to still have the hockey actors to still be glaring and staring at Kaido while even unconscious, and he realizes it. That's my king. All right, that's my king. Now here's a panel, bro, that I did not see the first time, and I'm really glad for the comments for y'all letting me know, because if not, this would have just blown by me until I reread the chapter. Kaido states the ability to use Conqueror's Haki just like that brat kid, bro. Kid D. Eustace. That's right. That's right. I forgot. I think it was George that I first heard that from. The Kid D. Eustace thing. And I loved it, so I ran with it. Kid D. Eustace. Without question. We knew how important he was going to be to this arc. We knew how important he was going to be as a character from the moment that him, Law, and Luffy came out of the auction house back in Sabaody. But him having Conqueror's Haki is so big for me because it just shows how important, or I'm sorry, not how important, the mass scale, the potential of Kid in the future of One Piece. You know, after Kid got taken out by Kaido, before that happened, before Chapter 795, whenever you ask somebody at the end of the series, who do you see the Yonko being? A lot of people would say Luffy, Law, and Kid would be 3 out of the 4. That was a pretty big consensus that I would always see. I would see that a lot. And after Kid got taken out by Kaido, you didn't really see that again. Or at least I didn't see it again. Like they just continuously kept leaving Kid out of that conversation. But after this right here, and just confirming that Kid is in fact a conqueror, I would not be surprised if what we discussed beforehand, I'm not saying Emperor or whatever the case may be, but at the very least, I most certainly expect Kid, out of the generation of pirates that they're in right now with Luffy, Law, and Kid, I definitely expect Kid to be even though he's not a D, as far as we know, even though he's not a D, I expect him to be, aside from Blackbeard and Luffy, the one who causes the most damage to the world government. I think even more than Law. And that is because of how much he does not give a flying flagnard. And with that being said, the fact that he also has the will of a conqueror, I think that just makes him triple as dangerous to the overall plan that the world government will has in store. So he's definitely going to be very, very important in the series just based off of that. And I'll talk about Kid more whenever we get to the end of the chapter. But one of my favorite things about Captain Kidd is whenever he spoke about the Celestial Dragons back in Sabaody, talking about them, saying that these dudes are straight up trash. And we know how Captain Kidd is, but I think it goes a long way for him in particular saying that. Because we know how he is. And for him to call somebody else in the way that they handle things trash, when this dude is out here killing innocent civilians and just pillaging and ravaging, and God, if it was a seinen, good the Lord knows what Kid would probably be up to. You know what I'm saying? But I think at the very least, that panel always went a long way for me, and I've always had very high expectations for what Oda would have in store with Kid. But him having Conqueror's Haki is huge. It's huge, man. Big hype for Kid, and I'm very, very excited to see what him and Luffy end up doing. But anyways, we'll get to that whenever we get to the end of the chapter. What did y'all think about that Kid revelation? Actually, let me see right here. Yo, what's up, lads, bro? What's going on, my brother? That's right, Martin. He gives no flag nards. That's a hard shoot. That's a hard shoot. We're gonna have Sabarda 2.0 with Luffy, Law, and Kid working together, and all this, and a lot of the supernovas, man. That's why a lot of us were so excited for Wano, was just to have that reunion and to actually have that panel at the end of the chapter was so surreal, bro. And shout out to Oda, because 100 chapters after, really, 100 chapters after a confirmation the Kid is in a cell, we get this chapter, man. That's crazy. Let me see. I just need to see Kaido's backstory. That would be interesting. Kaido's backstory is definitely one of the ones that I'm very interested in seeing as well, man. Just based off of the way that we know his character to be, there's definitely has to be something more to the whole suicide business than leads the eye, for sure. Sam the Man says, I think Wano was closed off after the Void Century that did not want to be part of the New World because they played a major role in the Void Century. I think Wano was closed off after the Void Century because they did not want to be a part of the New World because they played a major role in the Void Century. Well, the Wano in of itself could be like an Alabasta type of scenario, but even worse. Like we know Alabasta, the Nefertari family were considered traitors. Wano, I mean, what they have done goes beyond that of being a traitor. Well, maybe it's just that they were never, never. How do I put it? Maybe they were never on their side to begin with. But one thing's for sure: the world government is as. There's obviously a reason that they've never allowed, or I'm not gonna say they've never allowed, but that they haven't gone there, and they don't expect anyone else to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second. But yeah, there's definitely a reason why the like this place is so isolated. And I do agree with you. I do believe it has something to do with the Void Century, and that'll be something very fascinating because just like we were talking about before, you know, with the Kozuki clan being the ones who made the poneglyphs, which is something that, I mean, we know that we know how the Gorosei are when it comes to that, bro. I mean, they sniped Clover just for having just for speaking the name, just for saying the name, bro. They popped that man on sight, dog. So, with that being said, they obviously have to be well aware of the existence of the existence of these characters, of Wano of itself, which makes me wonder why it is that they never decided to blow it up or bust it. Like, if this place had all the knowledge of that for so many years, why not destroy it? There has to be something more to it, man. Because to me, if you thought Ohara was something dangerous to y'all, what about the dudes that created the damn poneglyphs? Like, their ancestors still run to this day. Unless they just don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. Kaido is the coach recruiting new players. Yeah, man, this man Kaido's Nick Saban, bro. Either him or rocks. That's for sure. Usopp is about to get some sea stone bullets after this arc. Dude, that would actually be sick. That would I could see him getting that in this arc. Kids, yo, what's going on, Michael Mickles, man? What's good, bro? He says, kid staring act Luffy after he proclaimed to find One Piece is what made me really like him. Yeah, dude, good. Yo, that was another really good scene too, bro. That was another really good scene, just showing that Kid is also like on the other side of the spectrum as Luffy, man. It's kind of like a Blackbeard moment, to where like these dudes are really similar but also really different. There's just that one thing that ties them together, like what with Luffy and Blackbeard, the whole concept of dreams never ending, and how Blackbeard believes in the same things as Luffy in terms of Sky Island existing, One Piece existing, that things aren't the way that they seem to be, like that type of stuff. And when you have Kid, he had that line about the One Piece, bro, and that was huge as well. That was also a really awesome line. Yo, my boy Northside, bro. He says, been saying for years Usopp's gonna snipe sea stone bullets and use dials close range. Yeah, dude, for real. Yeah, that is facts that you've been saying that for years. I actually remember that one time whenever we were having that stream, whenever we could pick different abilities. Remember that stream where it was like the Fishman Karate, the Devil Fruits, Hockey, all like those streams that we used to have. And I remember every single time we would bring up like the Sea Stone discussion, that you would bring up the whole Usopp possibly firing the Sea Stone bullets. That's definitely something there. So going back into the chapter for a sec, really nice touch for Oda letting us know that Kaido is in fact completely sober. That was something that to me is very, very important in terms of forward later on in the story to find out the true in order to really calculate the power difference between Kaido and Luffy. So then yo man, shout out to this man Kinemon, bro. My man's had his unders on his head. Hiding from his wife, bro. Hiding from, well, I'm not gonna say really hiding, but he's trying to hide his identity because he's not trying to let anybody know who he is, of course, and because they're trying to go with their plan through a stealth type of standpoint. But he ends up yelling Ashura Doji's name in Shutamaru. I can't wait to see more from Ashura Doji, bro. That's gonna be flipping goat, because I have very high expectations after what he did to Jack. I have very high expectations to see more from Ashura Doji. One thing that I really love, even aside from all that, about Shushinmaru / Ashura Doji is, and we were talking about this on the Red Force podcast. Shout out to those guys. But we were talking about the awesome facial expressions that Shushinmaru just gives off, man. He has a very, very expressive face. So I always look forward to seeing him in panels. And then, of course, getting the revelation of how they all managed to escape that thing. I know we were all thinking of so many different things, but to have it simply be the mature ability, man. Somebody in the comments said that it was that's like kind of like Shigaraki's ability from Right Hero, and I was like, well, when you put it that way, that's kind of a good point. So shout out to Shino for saving them and allowing them to go in like Swimwear. Kiko explains the situation. Shout out to Inarashi, bro. Yo, man, listen to me, dog. I said that whoever finds and saves Tama is gotta be an MVP contender. Lo and behold, it's my boy, man, the Duke. Did y'all see what Duke did to Kentucky the other week? You want to know why they did that? Because they were doing it for my boy Duke Dogstorm. Nah, they don't know. They don't know boy Inarashi, man. Listen, man, you thought Coach K was hexed? They don't know nothing about Inarashi, bro. Wait until the night hits and Inarashi feels like flexing. Wait until it happens. Wait until the night hits and Inarashi feels like flexing a little bit of the muscles. All right? Wait until the night hits and he takes off the people's sunglasses. Takes off that hat, bro. Looks directly into the moon. And he transforms, man, and starts laying stunners, RKOs, rock bottoms all over the place, dog. I mean, yo, you think Zion Williamson was dominant? You think he was dominant in that game? Wait until Inarashi goes up in like Swimwear, bro. Wait until he goes up in there like Swimwear, dog. I'm telling you. Don't doubt the Duke. Don't doubt the Duke, man. Don't doubt him. And when Nekomushi comes up in like Swimwear, When you have Nekomamushi and Inarashi back to back in Onigashima, and you got both of them going ham, man. You got Bakuchi Dancer playing in the background. It's gonna be GOAT, Skip. It's gonna be GOAT. So shout out to him for rescuing Tama. Tama looks really, really small in the hands of Inarashi. Really, really small in the hands of Inarashi. So yo, man, I don't know what Oda was on with this whole face thing, but Frankie, Robin, Usopp, and Zoro with these facial expressions, bro. Robin's really, 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 really caught me off guard, bro. That might be one of the top funniest panels that I have seen in a very long time. Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say that's probably the funniest panel since the Sanji and Pudding stuff back in Whole Cake for me, because out of all the things that I could have ever expected, Robin usually gives us great humor from a dark standpoint. Like whenever she just randomly spouts something extremely dark in the midst of any situation, it is pretty damn funny. But that facial expression coming out of Robin, it just look at it, bro. Like, compare the two panels, dog. See you in this panel, the one afterwards, bro. Like, what is going on here, Skip, man? What was this man Oda on, bro? What is he? You have Usopp with the same thing. Shout out to this man Zoro, though, bro. This man is out here with another bearded dude, talking just under a bridge, chilling, man. Sakura blossoms on top, eating some wasabi, bro. I mean, Zoro's just chilling, man. He's chilling, but it was a really nice showing of Oda too, since it is the final part of the first act, to see the guys that we've been getting glimpses of from chapter 909, but to have them once more. The second time we see the giraffe tree with the castle on it, that is the next time that we got to see all the Straw Hats that from the Wano expedition, and getting to see Frankie. After this chapter, from the craftsman portion of it, I'm really, really excited to see what Frankie's going to do in this arc, from what he's going to learn and how he's going to implement that in the future of the series. If not in this arc, then at the very least in the future of the series, because we know how Frankie is and how he wants to be the best of the best when it comes to his craft. He prides himself a lot into what he does, and I know that he can learn a lot of techniques here from these craftsmen that he can later on utilize for as being a shipwright. So I'm really excited to see how Frankie is going to evolve, and he having his character moments, him in this arc, when it comes to the whole his whole dream, because even though he had a great arc in Dressrosa, I haven't been as invested in Frankie's dream for quite some time, or in terms of like what he wants to do and how he goes about doing it. Like every single time, like for example, back in Whole Cake, and that one anime only scene, or whenever it has the Frankie dial and he's talking about the Sunny and the stuff that it does. Whenever I see stuff like that, I'm like, man, the Frankie greatness. But that we've only got like little bits and pieces of that, but that's also because we haven't seen Frankie in a long time. But whenever I was reading the Craftsman stuff, I was like, man, dude, this would be a great opportunity to finally give us some more for Frankie and his dream, and how important this arc is going to be for him as well, which I'm expecting for all of them. I think all the Straw Hats are going to have their important moments to shine, but I definitely want some Frankie greatness for sure. We already know that Robin's going to have her greatness. This might be the arc for Robin, aside from whenever we actually find out what the Void Sentry is, because post Wano, it's going to be Robin heavy. I mean, I cannot, bro. That is like top 2 most exciting things for me, aside from the eventual panel with Luffy Momonosuke at the end of the arc with that banquet of legend, man, which everything has been building up to, bro. Those two having their awesome emotional moment, man. Aside from that, from post Wano. I'm pretty sure all of us are on the same boat on here, man. To have Robin just speak to these dudes about the Void Century, about the Poneglyphs, just we're gonna get massive revelations, dog. So I'm obviously really excited for Robin in this arc. And then my boy Usopp is just gonna go and listen. I mean, he was Billy Mays in chapter 909, man. That's all I needed, bro. Usopp is always good in every arc. He had a legendary Dressrosa, so I'm expecting him to have a great Wano. And then Zoro's is self-explanatory. I mean, it's flipping Zoro in Wano. You know, like he's obviously gonna have a great arc here. But yeah, definitely high expectations for Frankie. I really have high expectations for what we're gonna have from Frankie in this arc. I look forward to seeing what he does, like with Sea Stone, and just implementing more of what he learned during the time skip. Not even in a fighting sense, more of like in how he's gonna learn it more towards becoming a better shipwright and creating something that could get us out of situation later on, and just learning more about his craft. Like for example, in whenever you go out and you see like the best of the best when it comes to whatever it is that you want to do, man, whether you want to write, dance, sing, playing video games, whatever, man. Like you always want to go out and see who the best of the best are. And apparently these are the best craftsmen in the world. So we had a great learning experience for Frankie. All right, man. Now let's get into this part of the chapter, bro. I'm mad excited for this, man. Let me get the hat, bro. Let me get the hat, bro. I gotta bring out the hat. I gotta bring out the hat for this, bro. Because listen, man, I've been waiting for this since Sabaody Archipelago, bro. I've been waiting for this for 10 years, man. So listen to me, bro. The next day, Wano Country Udon. And first of all, somebody in the comments was saying how this is an iron mine. How when the cuffs come off of Kid, I feel sorry for anyone. I feel anyone in this man's way, bro. Kid is going to go ham when those cuffs come off. When that sea stone comes, that's going to be glorious to see, bro. But anyways, so you have these dudes. They're going in, man. I mean, they are telling everybody how big of a piece of trash they are. If you want to continue to live, then beat that iron. If you want to rest, we'll kill you. Like, come on, coach, bro. Come on. And then they're telling them to move faster. I mean, they have no remorse for human life. No remorse. This dude right here is one of the most fascinating things about this arc so far. So they attempt to give somebody a poisonous fish. And apparently listen to this. Our orders were to give it one poisonous fish per day with the bones removed. And then they refer to it says, is it a croco shark or something? What do we have to treat it nicely, remove the bones? I took that literally. I saw a lot of you in the comments saying that it is the race of the beast in which like Jack rides on. But I took that initially literally, man. I legit thought that this dude was going to be some croco shark hybrid because this is Wano. We know out of all the stuff that we've seen with all the Zoans, I legit was expecting a croco shark. I was expecting like a crossover. Do you know how hacks that is for me? Like for Kaido to have imprisoned a Zoan who is so who is just so dangerous to him that he has him in prison, and apparently his will is so strong. Because I'm going to assume the dudes that he has still imprisoned are the dudes who their will has not been broken yet. That is a safe assumption, right? So with that being said, this dude obviously has a strong will. So the first thing that came to mind is, if this dude is a powerful Zoan, a crocodile and a shark, I mean, first of all, his teeth have got to be on another level. But I was hyped for that. I really was. I was like, it can work. It's Wano, Zoan, artificial Zoan, one they couldn't control, an artificial Zoan that rebelled against Kaido's once under him. And Kaido said, nah, bro, you're going to the chambers. You're going to get to the back of the line, baby. You go to the chamber. Like, I was invested in a storyline. Like, I built it up in my head, bro. I was like, I'm in there, man. I'm in there. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm still sticking with it. This dude has to be one of two things. Number one, either obviously he's probably one of the samurai that's with Kinemon and with Odin from back in the day, right? More than likely gonna be one of the ones with Odin from back in the day, or it could be like what I just said. Could be a traitor. Could be a traitor who was under Kaido, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. And we'll continue off that. So my hype and my curiosity for who this dude is, because he's obviously gonna be important. He's obviously gonna be the third wheel to Luffy and Kid, who's gonna rile up all the troops to allow them to break from this prison. So here we go, man. This next page right here, if I wasn't already wanting Luffy to whoop everybody who is on this island on Kaido's side, bro, this just quadrupled it. These dudes have the audacity to say, oh, that's him? The man who won against Master Kaido? Like that tiny kid? Better put some respect on my guy's name, dog. I thought he'd at least be making an all-star. Look at Luke. I can't even lie, man. Luffy looks fresh like this, bro. With I was saying that this morning during the reaction. There's just something about bandages. Maybe it's because I love Takatsugi and Makoto Shishio, but there's just something about bandages on characters that make them look beast. This man Luffy's out here looking like Makoto Shishio during that one flashback in the Kyoto arc. I mean, just looking straight up beast, man. I like the way Luffy's design is right here. Just wait until he gets the sea stone cuffs off, bro. Just wait, dog. Just wait, look at those eyes right there, man. Just looking to the side, bro. He's not even paying attention to them, coach. He's paying attention to the dude. He's paying attention to the dude who punctured this man's neck with some bones. The way you're looking at me, I'll make you lose the shine in your eyes in no time. They're planning on torturing. I mean, well, that is pretty much what they're doing. They're torturing these dudes, making them slaves. Like, you don't know about the undying will of my dog Luffy, bro. So I'm looking forward to seeing who this dude is going to be. Like I said before, the third wheel to this initial plan, this escape plan. So listen, man. They say that he's going to stay here until his will breaks, and he's going to pledge his allegiance to Master Kaido. All right, you know. They're going to work him to death. So here we have it, man. A panel of legend. Two goats. Two characters that we have been waiting to see in the same place at the same time since Sabaody, bro. And when you turn the page, they both say you'll pay for this, Kaido. To me, this one line is enough to just put over these two men. I already put over Luffy enough as it is, so I'm going to put over a Kid for just a second. This dude, Kid. We've been with Luffy for a long time, so we know what to expect. This man, Kid, not only was throttled by Kaido, but he lost the two dudes whom he was in an alliance with, and they both serve under Kaido now. Okay. He went there, they got attacked, and two of them said, "We out." But not Kid. Not Kid. And Kid, even after seeing, I'm pretty sure, is the same thing Luffy just saw, the true strength of 100 Beast Kaido, dog. and this man Kid still 130% is saying that Kaido's gonna pay for this. You could just see the will of a conqueror right there. You could see why the man has conquers King Haki right there. He's not gonna let anybody conquer him. He doesn't give a flying flag no who it is. Does not care. And I love that, bro. I love it. How could I not? It's great. That one line is fantastic for both of them. For both of them, man. Look, we know that both of them got throttled. They both got they both got pwned. It's not stopping them, dog. Screw that. We're gonna make that man pay. And then we get to this wonderful, beautiful portion of the chapter where we see the lady in the mask again playing. I saw the name for this instrument last time. Let me see if I could search it up. What is it again? See. Let me see here quick. Let's see if I can see it real quick. Is it the sun? The sun played the Sanshin, right? That's what that is. Sanshin. Let me go back to the page. Okay, now I know future reference. The Sanshin. So she is playing the Sanshin, and then we see, plays. The curtains continue to close. Your Wano Country first act. Theme. In the same way that it started, man. I could not have asked for a better chapter to go off on break, man. Kid and Luffy character interactions are going to be gold, bro. Kid and Luffy and that one random dude breaking out of Kaido Pell Down is going to be glorious. I am so excited for the second act of this play. By the way, just in case you guys don't know, because I posted this as a comment in the reaction, apparently Kabuki plays, which is what we're looking at here, just diving a little bit more into that, I didn't know that they were 5 acts. I initially thought, just based off of story structure, that Oda was doing like a 3-act structure. But no, apparently it's 5 acts. And the second and third and fourth act is basically the main meat of it. That's where the climax happens, the battle happens. Apparently the third portion is massive. There's a big surprise / epic climax that happens. Apparently battles ensue in the second and fourth portions of them. And then the fifth one is the resolution. And apparently, according to the way that Joe Hakyu goes, with Ha being the name of this chapter, is obviously what Oda's going for. Apparently, it's that the second, third, and fourth acts go really, 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 really fast. Like they just continue to get faster and faster and faster as time goes on. So I wonder if Oda's going to implement that storytelling structure within his writing as the arcs. Because to be honest with you, this first act was supposed to be slow, according to the way the plays go. Slow character introductions and setting up for the future. But by God, the first from 909 to 924, there was some really, really fast pacing. I mean, there was something different happening in every single chapter. It was moving. So, who knows what Oda has planned, man? Who knows what Oda has planned? But I'll tell you guys what, man. And I'll probably get more in depth in it next week whenever I do that recon piece. But this arc, by the time it's all said and done, might end up being one of my favorite arcs in the series, bro. And it's tough because this series has some godly arcs. But I think when I take into consideration everything I love about this series, and when I think about having true character moments for each of our Straw Hats, which is what some other of the arcs that I don't have as high were lacking compared to some of the ones, because the Straw Hats are so important to me and my love for this series, that if all of them have have some really cool moments, we have some natural emotional moments that we've already had in the arc, but you just continue to develop and go on as it goes on. To have those, to have the bigger picture things like the poneglyphs, and like somebody was saying earlier in the comments about why it is that Wano is truly segregated from the rest of the world, getting like this massive story revelations going down, and there's just a story of Wano and the setting of Wano within itself. All of that coming together. If Oda wraps this up with a bow by the time it's all said and done, I think this might end up being one of my favorite arcs, man. If not my favorite in the series, up whenever it finishes. There's going to be so much going for it. And I've loved every single second of this arc so far, man. Every flipping second from the moment that we arrived here, dog. And I can't wait until the anime gets there, man. I can't wait. But yeah, man, overall, chapter 924, a fantastic sauce of a chapter. And it got better and better for me as I thought about it throughout the day. Originally, I was like, you know what, this was a great chapter. But after rereading it, and after reading y'all's comments and coming on here and discussing it even deeper with y'all, this is a fantastic sauce of a chapter. It truly is, man. It truly is, Coach. Alrighty, yo. So let me go ahead and look at the comments real quick. Yo, best-selling manga in history, bro. You gotta relax, bro. You gotta relax. This man said Big Mom coming in Act 3. That might actually be really, really possible. Because obviously Big Mom is gonna... Whenever all of the characters that are coming in, all that's gonna happen during the Onigashima battle. Whoever comes in, which anybody can come in, because it's gonna be 2 weeks from now. Anybody from the Reverie, any of the Yonkos, anybody. And Big Mom is one of the characters that has already cemented her slot into the Royal Rumble, and we know that she's going to be there. But Big Mom coming up in like somewhere in the third part is going to be crazy, bro. Because that would just mean that Big Mom's going to be there for a while. Which means I feel sorry for anybody in the vicinity of 3 of the 5 emperors duking it out, bro. Are you kidding me? What in the flying flag north, Skip? 3 of the 5, bro. Flipping flag nards, man. All right, let me see. Philip LeBlanc says, off topic, but where would OP rank in your top 10? Like One Piece? One Piece is my number 1. Like it switches with Gintama, and like they pretty much share the spot. But One Piece is my number 1, no question. Luffy mean mugging everyone in Wano, man. Captain John says, recent subscriber. Much love, Captain John. Much love, yo. Yeah, welcome to the channel, Captain John, man. Welcome to the channel, bro. Let me see. Yo, Smiley, what's good? Smiley says the break still hurts, but I know Gordon needs his rest. That's facts. You know, he you know something, Smiley. Oda needs his rest so much that this man delivered to us chapters in succession, one after the other, with no breaks. He delivered Kaido's form being revealed. Luffy punching Kaido, Luffy versus Kaido. And then the meetup, the reunion of Luffy and Kid. And then went on break. My man's needs his rest, bro. He needs to chill. I wonder how he's gonna end the year. I'm really excited for that, man. I might buy a shamisen for Christmas. This man Laz is a troll, but hey, but if Laz does buy a shamisen for Christmas, my man's gonna have to do a live playing on the channel, bro, and that's a shoot. That is a shoot. Act two will be the two right hands, Zoro and Killer meeting up and teaming to save their captains. That'd be fascinating, actually. The concept of Zoro and Killer, teaming up, going in like somewhere. Last says, I love Ennie's lobby and Marineford, but Wano's potential to crack into my top 3 is very high. And definitely Laz, man. It definitely has the potential to make its way up there. It definitely has the potential to be an arc of that quality in the community. Like those 2 arcs are definitely highly regarded in the community for being which as they should be. They're both extremely legendary. But I think that by the time it's all said and I think Wano will be up there with the Ennie's lobbies, the Marinefords, the Arlong Parks, the Alabastas. In all of my years of being a One Piece fan, there's a lot of arcs that have just always been there as like, yeah, man, like that arc was goat. And I think Wano will end up being one of those arcs. And then I think Sabaody as of late has become an arc that people really, really have high praises for, which is really cool. Because I remember whenever I first caught up, there was, I mean, people really liked Sabaody, but I never saw it as a favorite. And now I see it a lot as a favorite. So it's same thing with a couple of the arcs. From that I never really saw before, and now a lot of people have certain arcs really, really high. So it's really cool. But I think Wano has the potential to be like that type of legendary arc in the community. Oh man, yes. Just reading the first sentence of your comment, Straw Hat Gamer, just gave me chills. The Straw Hat reunion is going to be so much more emotional now since Luffy thinks they may be dead. Listen to me, bro. That is already my most anticipated panel in the at this point, aside from Luffy becoming Pirate King, and aside from them reaching Raftel and finding out what the One Piece is, bro, at this point, the reunion between the Straw Hats is what I'm looking forward to the most. It's been 5 years, and by the time that it happens, it'll probably be 6 or 7, knowing how long Wano's going to be, right? I can't wait. To see what this what Oda has planned for that Straw reunion, because you're right. Luffy does not know that these guys are alive. So how awesome is it going to be whenever he sees them all, bro, in the like swimwear, dog? That's going to be beast. Jesse Ferry says, I had to take a good little glimpse at your profile picture. The little like pudding there for a sec. I think it is. That is pudding, right? I can't see, bro. So this dang picture is so small. I wonder which act we will see. What we will see all those draws together again, maybe by the end of Act 3, bro. If that's the case, man, the end of Act 3 is gonna be crazy. We had Big Mom earlier for Act 3. Now the Straw reunion Act 3. It's gonna be one of the best portions in the arc. Pirate Warriors 4 needs to be announced ASAP with Wano DLC. Dude. Kite. Carter Curry playable. Big Mom playable. Kaido playable. Yo, bro, listen, man. Give me M-sama, bro. Like his presence, like just put him in as a character, and anybody who uses him gets an automatic victory unless it's against like a top tier or something. You know what I'm saying? Like just put M-sama in there. Like M-sama just ends. He's like Exodia. Like if somebody summons M-sama, it's over. You just pack your bags, you're gone. Unless you have like Shanks or Kaido or something on your team. You're like, all right, man, we'll go somewhere. But yo, M-sama, man, he goes into the thing. You end the game right there. Like M-sama's final. But his so we'll do like this: X, Y, B, and A for and that's going off. Where's my PlayStation controller at? Let me see. I've been playing so much Xbox as of late, man. I'm trying to remember these controls. So Pirate Warriors 4, bro. Here we go. In Pirate Warriors 4, M-sama's abilities are going to go as follows. Square is going to be him having that the butterfly right there. And when that butterfly lands, it causes a catastrophic earthquake to hit everything and anything that happens that is around the area. It causes all of your stats to be buffed and everybody's stats on the opposing teams to be debuffed. And 2 of your support characters, you can no longer use them. That is your square. Your triangle is Imsama. Will allow you to walk up a certain bit of stairs, holding your opponent's poster or a picture in hand, and whenever he sits on the throne, that's it. That's it. Your health goes down to 1%. Circle. Whenever you press circle, it forces everyone to bow before the great instant messenger Sama, bro. You'll become immobile for the next minute. Instant messenger Sama wins. And then your X. When you press X while using Imsama, using the instant messenger, you will look at a giant straw hat. A giant straw hat will come down from the heavens and end the game in an instant, bro. Pirate Warriors 4, dog. Pirate Warriors 4, man. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Let me see. Now that Luffy's captured, do you think that those with his favorite card would have been alerted? Yeah, see, that's actually a really good question. I was talking about this with my cousin because I saw this really cool little meme on Instagram that said like now that Luffy's been captured, like certain people will be on the way. Like it had Garp, Dragon, Sabo, Shanks, and like even though it was like one of those really cool memes that you don't see happening, but I think it's really important to at the very least think about those who have the river card in hand. Not only those who have the river card in hand, but when is that extremely crazy incident that Oda was alluding to at chapter 800 that's going to force the alliance to come going to happen? Because if Luffy not getting decimated by Kaido and being near death is what brings the alliance together, then what is that insane incident that happens that brings the alliance together? You know what I'm saying? It's food for thought. But I definitely do think that those with his river card should be alerted eventually. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, whenever I think back to the Sabo situation, can you imagine Sabo having to make a decision? Like, can you imagine him looking down at his Luffy river card in the middle of declaring war on the flipping celestial dragons, and he sees Luffy's almost dead? How would Sabo feel? In the middle of doing what they've been planning to do for years, but his brother's dying, bro. Like the decision. I mean, of course he would go to save Luffy, no question. But it would definitely cause for a dilemma in a scenario. You know, Yak says Big Mom coming in Act 3 means she'll have Act 3 reverb from JoJo. Shout out to Echoes, bro. The Echoes. I thought Togashi was crazy by adding JoJo and Toriko and Hunter x Hunter, but Oda is... this attempts is being factual, bro. Adding Koichi Stan into Wano, man. Act 1! Act 2! Act 3! If Big Mom is coming, then does that mean Katakuri is coming along? Oh, that... I was talking about that with Ajeng, too. With my cousin. I was like, yo, can you imagine a panel with Katakuri and Luffy together, fighting together, bro? Like Katakuri... because we know how loyal he is to his family, right? But even with like all stuff going down with Big Mom and Kaido, that's eventually gonna happen in this arc. Do you know how awesome it would be to get a panel of Katakuri and Luffy just going up in like somewhere together, bro? Or at the very least, Katakuri taking care of business and saying, "Yo, this is just paying you back for what happened in Whole Cakes, man. I got you, my boy." And Luffy sets off, man. Just a sign of respect. Signs of respect, man. I would love to have Katakuri and Luffy get something going on in this arc. Sam the Man says chapter 925 is going back to the Reverie. I called it here first. Hey man, if it happens, bro, it's gonna be GOAT. It's why I say that right now we are in the best possible time to be a fan of the Weekly One Piece experience, at least up until this point. because it's just so unpredictable, man. At any moment, we could go back to the Reverie. But at the same time, even if we don't go back to Reverie, the stuff going on in Wano is gold. It's like no matter what happens, we're going to get absolute greatness. So I'm really excited for that, man. Guys, actually, let me ask you a question, man. I'm gonna pose this question, and I'm gonna do a 1, 2, or 3, right? I'm gonna do 1, 2, or 3. Now, when it comes to the what is gonna happen in 925, just 925, 925. Do we focus on some outside source heading into Wano, like Weevil, Marco, Nekomushi, whatever? Do we go into outside force? Give me a 1. Do we stay in Wano? Give me a 2. Do we go back to Reverie? Give me a 3. All right. Outside force like Weevil or Nekomushi or something like that. 1. Wano 2. Reverie 3. Let me see in the comments. Okay. So I see a 2. I see 3, 3, 1 or 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so a lot for not that many for outside source, but there's quite a few for Wano and quite a few for Reverie, so it's pretty split right there. Pretty split. It's pretty split right now. Like I said, regardless of where we end up going, I think it's going to be some greatness. But I think a lot of us obviously would be really, really excited to. And I think the main excitement for going back to Reverie is how it's going to intertwine with the Battle of Onigashima. Because we know that Oda put those two. We know that he indicated the time. Both of them happening at the same time. And having Onigashima, the fire festival, happening in 2 weeks. You know, he had that. He was like, yeah, man, I got y'all, bro. And the fact that he has that happening a week after the Reverie, they have to intertwine somehow, man. And I think that's what most of us are really excited for, is to see how these 2 arcs end up intertwining at the very end. I need it, man. I need it, bro. Oh crap. I lost my way in my mind. Oh, that is pudding. Okay, thank you, Jesse Ferry. That is. That was bothering me. I was thinking. I was like, man, is that pudding? Let me see. Yeah, you already know, man. Yeah, y'all know. I drop the M Sama hype at all times, doc. That's that. Bro, listen. As the year has gone on, the M Sama hype just keeps getting higher. It keeps gonna. Y'all know how much I love Blackbeard, bro. Like I hype up Luffy and Blackbeard to the moon and back, man, for so many different reasons. And I hype up my dog Shanks. I mean, there's quite a few characters, but man, Instant Messenger Saba, woo! That's gonna be the guy. By the time the series ends, man, that's gonna be a goat right there. Let's see. As he says, it begs the question: why split up Wano on multiple acts instead of keeping it like any other arc? Well, I think the obvious assumption is that he's just more on the paying homage to Japan, and in a way that he would tell, or in the way that a play. But then that's also a good question to ask as well. It's like, why tell like this? Obviously one could say, oh, it's to differentiate this arc from other arcs. But there's already so much in this arc that it would easily differentiate itself from the other arcs. But I think telling it in this way gives it its own unique flavor for sure. Plus, paying homage to Japan, which is what almost all of Wano is, with the whole Kabuki play style. Love telling the story, but it's obvious he had this intention from the very beginning. From the moment that we started this arc and we saw the curtains opening up with that, and with her playing the, I forgot the name again. The Sanshin, playing the Sanshin, and heading in and seeing Wano for the first time. It really does make you wonder why it is that Oda decided to go about it like this. It's a good question. It could just be something as simple as that, though. That he was just like, you know what? I want to tell it this way to pay homage to Japan, which is what the Wano arc has been doing since the very beginning, and will continue to do. But I also feel like it's a great storytelling device. In terms of, now that he's able to have it in this play-like structure, he's able to plan and write the story accordingly. Whereas we know that One Piece arcs usually go beginning, middle, and end a lot of the times, just like any other story out there. But a lot of the times it has what I meant to say by that is, usually the main consistent in the One Piece fandom is that One Piece arcs have godly beginnings, godly endings, and in the middle is usually what separates every arc. Like the middle is what is whether this arc is really high for you or really low for you, because their perspectives change for a lot of people. But a general consensus is the beginning and ending of One Piece arcs are really, really good. And I think that now with this device, now that he has 5 acts instead of the 3-act structure that I've been accustomed to One Piece arcs being told, now it's going to be interested in seeing how Oda's going to tackle that. Because with the Battle of Onigashima happening, then is it going to be like an Enies Lobby situation, where it just resets the whole thing again, the whole 3-act structure? Because Water 7 in of itself also had the beginning, middle, and end of Water 7. And you had the beginning of Enies Lobby, the middle of Enies Lobby, and the end of Enies Lobby, which of course circled back into Water 7. But I don't know. I don't know how Oda's going to go about this. But I'm excited for it because it's really cool. It's unique, something different, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. It's a nice little touch on the way that he wants to tell a story. And I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I can see us getting 2 to 3 chapters covering Reverie, then switch back to Wano. Okay. I mean, you already know, bro. We only need 2 to 3 chapters. We saw what he did with 906, 907, 908. You know how it is. Yo, Yak, man, relax, bro. This man said, yo, what if Dragon and Sabo show up in Wano, man? I can barely handle what we already have. I can barely handle the characters that are already here, bro. Like, the more we just continue to keep adding, man, the less. I mean, I'm gonna lose my mind with this arc. Yo, okay, so Last says this right here. Last says, and those Reverie chapters would still count for the Wano arc. At this point in time, if the Reverie and Wano, if we truly go back to Reverie, do we start considering Reverie Wano to be one arc? Do we say that the Reverie Wano saga starts in chapter 903 and ends whenever the arc ends? Or do we still consider the Reverie to be its own thing? Because if we continue to intertwine between these 2 arcs, I'm not sure if I'll be able to differentiate them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Let me be honest with y'all, bro. If Reverie and Wano end up, if we consider that to be just one saga, I really do think that's my number 1 by the end of this arc. I really do, bro. If those 2 are considered to be one saga, Reverie Wano, I think by the end of this arc, I think think that's a strong. I think that junk sits right next to Shogun Assassination, bro. I legit, I have that high hopes for what we're about to get. I have, like, the hopes are high, bro. The hopes are high, but the thing is, it's really hard for me to say that. Like, I can say that now in hype, But Water 7 and his lobby and Return to Saba already have such a special place in my heart that it's gonna be really, really hard to surpass those on my list. But I never doubt Oda. I never doubt Oda, man. Let me see. Oh man, a flashback of Ace meeting Tama. God, in the anime, I'd probably cry, dude. I mean, I'm already know I'm gonna cry in several moments, but that one is gonna kill me. Im Samabir Ano Kata. That's a big shoot, lads. That's a big shoot. Im Sama being our Ano Kata, man. If you think about it, not many manga have done it in this format before, and I think that's what's very fascinating about it, Laz. Is the simple fact that not many manga have done it. You know what I mean? That I think that's what makes it so unpredictable. Because a lot of people don't like the risk of balancing so many things at once, juggling so many different things at once without having to like most of the time you just want to stick to one thing and wait until the arc ends. But man, dude. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but it also gives him room to move to something else, like Reverie, like everyone has said. I wonder if the act panels will be animated. Yeah, same here, Michael, and I think they will, Michael Miggles, because I think they're important for the for the overall kabuki play like thing that Oda's going for with his arc. I guess we'll find out when Chapter 909 gets animated, but I think we will, because that needs to have life into it, like the whole hearing the song being played, having the curtains open up, it would just be perfect. I wonder if they're gonna change the eye catch for Wano in the anime. You know how the eye catches work. I wonder if they're gonna have different ones for the Wano arc. If we get Dragon pulling up on Im and we go back to Wano, I might. If we get Dragon pulling up on Im and we go back to Wano, I might fight Oda. Listen, man. If Dragon pulls up on Instant Messenger Sama and we don't find out what happens for 100 chapters, of course I'd be mad, but at the same time I'd just be like, no matter what literally, no matter what happens in the story, we know that one day we'll find out the aftermath of that battle or of that confrontation. Dragon Claw says, if Lady Toki is from the Void Century and M Sama became immortal through the Opi Opi no Mi, I wonder if they know each other. I think that's a big possibility, especially if Lady Toki, like you say, is from the Void Century. It would not be a stretch to say that that they know each other. But we would see. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know. That's why going back to what the comment from earlier about where one or why it truly is that the world government has not bombed this place to Flagnards, and Buster called it to all Flagnards. I need to find out why. Why does this place still stand when it has given birth to so many things? I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe it's for balance. Maybe that's just something as simple as that, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think eventually, whenever we do get that flashback with Toki, we'll of course find out then. But that is an interesting food for thought. Oh crap! What does it say right here? If we get some Reverie, I'll mark out, and your Reverie is only 1 week, so characters have 1 more week to reach Wano. Exactly. So Admirals and Revs aren't out of the realm of possibility. No question. Like I keep saying, 2 weeks is more than enough for anyone, literally anyone that either we haven't seen or have seen in the series to show up. It's more than enough time. Yak says, let's not get crazy with the Shogun assassination comparison, my dude. Yeah, man. I mean, Shogun assassination is a once in like a lifetime type of arc, but you know what I mean, man. You know what I mean, Doug. You know what I mean. I'll be an emotional wreck when we get more Ace stuff in Wano, no question, man. No question, man. That's my boy right there, dog. Nicholas Alexander says, "I want Luffy to have an iconic rage moment. I would like for him to have a moment like going to Hunter x Hunter. Imagine Luffy releasing King Saki around him, and his crew is there to see him. I think Luffy's had multiple rage moments. Just looking back at, I mean, a couple chapters ago with him going out on Kaido, and he was really mad then. Whenever he punched the Celestial, whenever he punched Charlos, bruh, and Sabaody, I mean, he punched him. Yeah, that was an angry Luffy, bro. When he went into the Frankie house and obliterated them, now that was a rage, bro. When he found out what they did to Usopp, yo, he went up in like swimwear in classic Luffy fashion, man. That was a godly rage moment right there, if that can be considered one. But if you're talking about like a moment where Luffy just loses himself in rage and just goes in, I think there's only 2 things that I can really realistically see Luffy having a moment like Gon, and that is the death of Shanks or the death of a Straw Hat, because that would cause Luffy to literally lose it. But I think where we are in the story, I'm not sure if something like that is necessary, because just knowing the way that Luffy is and how much he doesn't give a flying flag guard, I think the rage moments that we have gotten and we will continue to get in the future are the ones like him pushing the Celestial Dragon, are ones like him walking to the Frankie house, and like what just recently happened with him fighting Kaido. It's just showing more of his recklessness and how he gets caught up in his emotions a lot and just doesn't think rationally, which is what Luffy already does. But I don't think we'll get a moment like that Gon moment in the series. But like I said, unless like something really drastic happens that forces his mind to shatter again like that. But I don't know if I would really like to. I don't know if I would really want to see Luffy like that. But I say that now. But but if it does happen, I'd probably be mad hype. But that's just me. If Dragon does pull up on Instant Messenger and we go back to Wano, we'll be able to sleep until I find out what happens. Damn, bro, we're not gonna be able to sleep for years, for years. Good question. We need a Jinbei and Carrot eye catch. Yes, Michael Mickles, we do, man. We need an eye catch for both of them. Make that 4 Yonko because Blackbeard gonna pull up and take Kaidio's Devil Fruit. That's interesting when it comes to Kaido, because I know we've been saying that for a long time that Kaido or that Blackbeard's gonna come in and take Kaido's fruit, but what if Blackbeard doesn't show up? I think that would be more scary than him actually showing up, because if he doesn't show up, that just tells me that Blackbeard has something bigger planned than trying to take Kaido's fruit. You know what I mean? Like if Blackbeard doesn't show up, that means that he has plans even bigger than Kaido, bro. That I don't even want to think about that. But I kind of do because Blackbeard's my goat. Over the years, Ace has climbed to my top 3 characters in one. Yo, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, yo. I had a video that I was gonna do earlier this year talking about how Ace has skyrocketed. Well, I'm not gonna say skyrocketed, but he's continued to elevate in my favorite characters list for quite some time. But especially, also for me in the last couple of years as well. I feel like now, whenever I go back and I look at that stretch of chapters of going down the Impel Down Marineford, and then the ASL stuff, looking at it now, after some of the stuff that I've gone through in my life in the past couple of years, I've gone to truly be able to relate to Ace in a lot of instances more than I did before. And I think, and I'm on board with you on the simple fact that, like, as of late, he's definitely gone up there in terms of one of my favorite characters. Yeah, like he really, really has. Like I always thought he was a really cool character, but as of late, in terms of how much I can relate to him in a lot of instances, man, he's such an awesome character, bro. Such an awesome character, and every single year or every single reread, he just continues to climb. There are titans inside the borders. Laz is sick in the head, yeah. He's sick in the head. This says that there are titans inside. Yo, Captain Johnson Shanks to the girl says a bit suspect. Not a bit. It's extremely suspect. We don't know if the pirate he needed to talk to him about was Blackbeard or Luffy or both. That's a big shoot. A big shoot. We don't know at all. And I'm telling you, man. Like though, I don't know how this man gave us 3 chapters back to back that I can't stop thinking about. The Hat, Shanks and the Gorosei, and Instant Messenger Sama, like 3 back-to-back chapters. They were probably going to be continuing to think about and speculate on until we get answers, which could be flipping 5 years from now. What if Shanks wants to talk to the Gorosei about Kaido and then Oni? Whoa. We gotta relax. We gotta relax. Bro. If this man Shanks not only wants to show up himself, but he wants to get the world government, nah. Yo, man, Onigashima is gonna be like Toriko Weekly, bro. I'm gonna need to be on life support every week. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. We gotta relax, Dry Gamer, bro. We gotta relax. Oh, snap. Let me see. If Tama was Ace's kid and he watched her die in front of Kaido, Luffy would lose it. There's no question. There's no question about that. That is a very good point. And we saw that with Kaido. I mean, it really whenever he found out of what Kaido did to Tama, I mean, it just infuriated him. But if Kaido did it in front of Luffy, ooh, dang, dog. The Navy might not even know the poneglyphs are from Wano since they were created centuries ago. Maybe Im-sama knows, but he technically doesn't exist. That is also a good point, Michael Mickles. So, like, if he revealed this information, maybe if he revealed this information to the public or for it to become general knowledge, then maybe he would be giving himself away. You know what I'm saying? That's a good point. Blackbeard has just been eating cherry pie for the last 2 years. Yeah, we kind of Blackbeard were to take Kaido's fruit, would that mean that glorious mustache would become a glorious beard? Just imagine dragon Blackbeard laughing. Yo, we gotta relax, bro. Blackbeard with a godly mustache and a godly beard, man. And you'll be God, and then with 3 fruits. God, bro, that's too much. That's too Blackbeard with Kaido, Whitebeards, and his own fruit. My mind shattered just thinking about that. Apple needs to make the ident and Mushi. You know that's my ringtone on my phone. Look, listen. When somebody calls me, this is what you hear. I put up the sound. Ringtone. Sounds right here. Every single time somebody calls me, that's what comes up. It's right there. Denden Mushi. The Denden Mushi. So I already have an Denden Mushi coach. I already have one. Let me see. I just realized that I put the damn thing into the camera, so I don't even know if y'all heard that. Instead of putting it to the mic, I put it into the camera. Whatever, yo. Whatever. Let me see. What if Blackbeard is going after Kaido to Wano and Shanks warned the Gorosei about it, but they decided to do nothing about it, so Shanks is going there as well? We might as well have him, bro. We might as well have the final war. We might as well have the final war. Why not? If all of the major players are going to be here anyway, let's have the final war. Let's end it. Let's go to Raftel, bro. let's just extend the arc a little longer and let's go to Raftel, man. We might as well, coach. That is mad. That is crazy, bro. Yes, what if Blackbeard is going after Kaido and Shanks warned the Gorosei, but then Shanks said, "I'll handle that." Let's go. Dude, if this arc has Blackbeard versus Shanks, I mean, my number one most anticipated matchup in the series, aside from the final confrontation with Luffy and Blackbeard again, in terms of straight up, I mean, I know a lot of people look forward to seeing Zoro Mihawk again, which of course is going to be Beast, and a couple of other ones, but I'm talking about just straight up having a battle like on some, I was about to give a Gintama spoiler, but anyways, on some straight up just on matchup. I've been waiting to see Shanks and Blackbeard again, bro. For a long time, for a very, very long time, bro. And I'm not talking about dream matchups. I'm talking about matchups that we know is going to happen, man. That we know for a fact for the end of the series is going to happen. That is one of my most anticipated ones. We got to relax, man. This is crazy. Hey, what's going on, Phenology, bro? What's going on, man? Tyler one says, "Hey, what's up, Recon? Just got here. How's it going? Love your live reactions, man. Best on YouTube." I appreciate that, Tyler, man. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it, bro. Everything's going good, man. It was a pretty long day, man, but we're here talking about the One Piece greatness. You're talking about the One Piece greatness, man. But thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate the kind words. In the discussion of Luffy needing to become stronger and everyone trying to figure out how Luffy is going to compete with top tiers, I think it's something Oda set up since a while ago. I think Oda is setting up Luffy to be the strongest Conqueror's hockey user in the verse. I'm there with you, Derek Davis. I most certainly do think that that Oda's setting that up as well. With Luffy being the one eventually to have the strongest King's hockey, which of course is going to lead him to becoming the Pirate King. So I'm there with you, Derek Davis, no question. In terms of how do I put it, and how he's going to compete, and how he's going to compete with the top tiers at this point in time, because I do think by the end of the series, Luffy will be able to compete with them um, in hands, feet, devil fruit. I don't care. Like Luffy's going to see anybody, but in terms of how he's going to compete with them right now, he's definitely going to have to utilize more of his Conqueror's King hockey for sure. Recon, you better pick up and say this is Mr. Prince. I've done that before. I've done that before, bro. Actually, I remember doing that at work, man. Hello, this is the crappy restaurant, bro. The crappy restaurant. Oh, Smiley, that's your notification tone too. I'm telling you, yo, it's a goat notification tone. It's goat. But up. Kaido, let's start the biggest war the world has ever seen. Shanks, I'm here to stop this war. That's facts. That's big facts. My dude, Recon is the pinnacle of OP stands. Dude, what is that? I see that word all the time on Twitter. Like like what is Stan? Is that supposed to be a tard? Is that what that is? Like a I'm going to assume that's what that is because I think people associate that word with like really really big fans. Right? If I got that right, because I see that word stands a lot on my timeline. Yeah, Eto, you already know I got the Hiyori Itai. Yo, I remember for a good minute, I had Hiyori Itai as my because it's the instrumental version. And I had that as my ringtone for quite some time. After it was released in the anime, so like a couple years ago. That was greatness. Does it go kachak? Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't, Michael Michaels. It doesn't. It doesn't go kachak. Kachak. Let me see. Im-sama was also going to show up. If Im-sama shows up, it's I think that's the same week that I actually go out the window, bro. If all these characters are actually there, man, I might have to go. I don't even know where I'm going to have to go, bro. They might have to trade me to another part of the planet. I might have to go live somewhere else, man. Because I'd probably my King's hockey would start leaking, bro. Here in this part of the area, man, I might cause a storm to happen around here, Coach. No joke. Im-sama shows up too, man. Oh man. Yo. Imagine the day Luffy puts a straw hat on the next kid with a big dream. I'm still a big believer that's going to be near the end of the series. If not the final panel or the final chapter. I'm a big believer of that, man. I'm a big believer. And this Peter says, do you think Luffy just needs an overall boost to his base form? I think he's already had an overall boost to his base form. In this, from what we've seen in the first couple of portion in the first act of the arc, back whenever like the stuff with Urashima, I mean, he's done some massive improvements to his just overall way that he does battle. I think the Katakuri battle helped that out a lot because now whenever he enters Gear Third, bro, it feels much more. I mean, I know back in the past it was a much bigger thing for us because that was the highest technique that we knew. But I feel like at this point in time, now that it's mastered, at least I'm going to assume it's mastered, it just comes out to be way more intimidating whenever he uses it, at least for me. Because I feel like a mastered Gear Third is extremely beast. Same thing with a mastered Gear Second. But and I think we can kind of consider. I mean, it's not his base form, but I feel like now whenever he enters G3, I feel like an elephant gun is what the jet pistol used to be, where it was like the go-to attack. Now the elephant gun is his is the go-to. All right, I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this attack first. So I think he has been working on his base form as things have been going on. Just going off of that context right there. Um, I think he did work on it, or has been working on it, especially after the Katakuri fight. Ah, like a Kobe stand. Oh gosh. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. The Kobe versus Braun stands. Stand. Oh yeah, from the Eminem song. My tears run cold. I wonder if I got out of bed at all. Hey, that was that song was goat, man. That song was goat. Now I can see it all. Even if I could, it would all be great. I remember I saw that song one time on like a top 100, long time. I mean, this is years ago, man. Back when MTV was still relevant, man. They did like a top 100 songs of all time, and I think that song came in like number 7 or 8. And I forgot what they said was the reason for it, but I remember them having them having that song really high. I think that was the first time I ever watched a music video for that song. I'd always just heard I'd always just heard the song for it. Let me see. Yo, what's going on 9/11 Devil Hunter, bro? Oh, you just woke up, dog? Yeah, man, it's going good, man. It's going good, yo. Let me see. Luffy's not going to be the strongest physically, but definitely mentally. I think by the end of the series, he's going to be strong as both. I think mentally, he's already there. I think Luffy mentally right now is already Pirate King up here. He just needs to have the power to make it happen, the strength, that will to make it happen. Because to me, up here in his mind, he's already there. He's already envisioned it. Like now, it's just a process to make it happen. That's the way I look at it. Yo, Muiwara Gaming, man, how's it going, bro? How's it going? Let me see. You reckon I've been reading this webtoon called Bastard? You have to read it, bro. It has 92 chapters. What is it about? I think I've heard that one before. Isn't that one like a thriller? That series. I think I've heard of that one before. This man Yak said that kid will be his and Nami's son. I can't go against that, bro. I can't go against that, coach. This man Brandon says it's 6 a.m. in the UK, but there's no way I'm missing on a recon stream. God bless you, man. God bless you. I really do appreciate it. Every time y'all say that, where you guys live and the sacrifices that y'all make to watch these streams, man. Y'all are incredible, man. Y'all are incredible, yo. Shout out to y'all, man. But I really do appreciate it, and I really thank y'all for stopping by and just making streams and experiences like this really cool. Exactly. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. I really hope Shanks to make an arm out of pure hockey. It would be epic. Like he just summons it like it'll be some Super Smash Bros stuff, bro. He summons a crazy hand out of the air. Shit, he just starts going at with the crazy hand. You know that. Yo, man. For those of us that have been hyping up Shanks for years, that'll be just the icing on the cake, bro. Kurt Chill says, I just want to say Snake Man is supposed to be animated. Y'all ain't ready. Yeah, I'm excited for that, man. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're going to showcase that first at a what is it? I think it's a Jump Festa. I think a Jump Festa. Now this isn't confirmed. I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I know I saw the article and I remember seeing it before. And I know they're going to show an early screening of that Snake Man battle. But I don't remember where exactly it was going to be. I think it is Jump Festa. Even before like we get it in the show. It's going to be like several weeks before we get in the show. But I know they're gonna go ham on that Snake Man episode, man. Just seeing how things have been. I haven't been able to watch the latest episode, which I know has like the first bit of the Rayleigh flashback stuff, which is really, really awesome. I haven't been able to watch that yet, so I need to watch it. But just based off of how they've handled this battle so far with Luffy versus Katakuri in the anime, I think it's safe to say that for the Snake Man fight, for the climax of that fight, they're going to go in. I mean, they're going to go in, man, on all aspects. Soundtrack, animation, art design, the way that everything's going to be directed, the storyboarding. I think that is going to be a really, really, really good episode. Really, really good episode. Both of those episodes are going to be really, really good. That one and the chapter, or the episode that covers chapter 896, those are going to be some really, really good episodes. Triple Chin Robin will be steered into my brain. Hey, it's okay, yo. It's okay, yo. It's okay. I wouldn't mind having Triple Chin Robin forever steered in my brain. It would give me a good laugh every once in a while. Just read the prologue of Bastard. Don't want to spoil it. Yes, it's really. I guarantee you would love it. Okay, I got you, bro. I read the manga Bastard. That one was a lot of fun. Shout out to my boy Dark Schneider. Dark Schneider. Bastard webtoon, man. Webtoons are always good because webtoons are so easy to read when it comes to just pulling it up on your phone and just reading it through there. It's easier than manga at times. Yo, underrated mage. What's good, Tyreek, bro? What's good, my friend? Yo, Tyreek, bro. Shout out to your Cowboys, man. We see all this week, bro. We see all this week, man. So we'll see what happens, coach. I know that y'all keep saying that's a must win. And I think Zeke said that this week, that it's a must win for y'all, which it is. But it's also a must win for us, man, because the Redskins are up 5. They're up 5-3 right now. I mean, we're 4-4. We get one more dub and we'll be right in there like swimwear. But I think for y'all especially, y'all need a dub. But I don't think y'all getting it, man. I don't think y'all are getting it this week. Let me see. Shanks summons a hockey arm like Yami summons Exodia. At this point, man, it wouldn't surprise me. Jonathan God says, no, not the arm. No one's ever been able to summon him. I think I just woke up my neighbors, bro. Yo, this is one of the legendary line that Kaiba said in the first episode, bro. Not him. No one's ever been able to summon him. You gotta relax, coach. Let me see. My crew has no pathetic members, kind of. Yeah, we gotta relax. My crew has no pathetic cards. Kaiba. I found it interesting that Kaido wasn't surprised Luffy was alive. It shows he... Yes, I agree, Rose Dinante, man. It was Kaido putting respect on Luffy's name just based off of that. Really, really good stuff. And I think it goes a long way. You know, I think that last chapter, I remember seeing some people talk about the idea that Kaido didn't strike back immediately because he wanted to see what Luffy was made of before he pwned him. And I like that idea because just knowing the way that Kaido is a dude who is obviously looking for people who are strong or for a situation, a scenario where you can die, right? So obviously, with that being said, he's probably looking for people strong enough to do such a thing. That's probably why he looked up to Whitebeard. And has Whitebeard to such high regard because he knows Whitebeard could do it. So, with that being said, and we know how he prioritizes strength and respects those that are strong, respects them enough that in his form of respect, whenever he sees somebody that is formidable and somebody that he sees as a pretty formidable opponent, that he wants to break their will and make him join his crew. So with that being said, the fact that he told his crew, nah, man, he's still looking at me, bro. Like, y'all better not underestimate the king, man. Like, it was like he just wasn't surprised. He was like, well, of course he is. Of course he's still alive. There's no question about that. Y'all think that was just gonna kill him? I love that. Just one emperor showing respect to another. That's all that was, dog. Dark Schneider, the ultimate savage. That's a big fact. Big fact. Yo, Eto, is that really tomorrow? The Godspeed. Like I said last week, I still haven't watched the latest episode of Hunter x Hunter in the dub. Yo, my boy Josh, bro. Yo, Josh, man, we gotta hit up some Madden again, man, one of these days. We haven't been able to play in a minute, man. So who do you guys think is in the other cell that spit the fish bones? You know, I was telling everybody earlier that I still believe that it is and it's gonna be one of two things. Either it's for me, I would love for it to be a traitor. I want it to be a Zoan who went traitor under Kaido. And because of the situation and the circumstances at hand, he was placed into the cell. But he is still a really, really beast dude who was once originally under Kaido. I think it would be cool to have somebody who was actually under Kaido and has that knowledge of being under Kaido and decided to go traitor and thus was put into the cell. But this had to have been like years ago, like during like Odin's time. But aside from that, then if it isn't a traitor, then at least a traitor to Kaido, then then of course it's probably it more than likely will end up being one of the samurai from Odin's flashback or something, or someone connected to that whole thing right there. What if it's Buggy D Clown? You know, if it's Buggy D Clown, we're gonna have Impel Down 2.0, bro, which I wouldn't mind, man. Yo, Josh and I talk about this all the time, but you know, we always bring up the David Back fight, Thriller Bark as being like Oda on his A game when it comes to comedy, right? But I always throw Impel Down up there too, man. I always throw Impel Down and now Whole Cake because I find Whole Cake to be absolutely hilarious. But Impel Down was absolutely hilarious because of Buggy and Mr. 3, bro. So the more Buggy, the merrier, man. I love Buggy, bro. It's one of my top 10 favorite One Piece characters. So the more we get a Buggy, man, I wouldn't mind. That's like you said, and that's Buggy D Clown, dog. I'm always glad when you do Afterthoughts Video King, the real king. I appreciate that, man. I really, really do. I always love doing these. I just, unfortunately, after certain chapters and after certain times, I'm not able to do it. But I said, screw it, man. I gotta put some time to come on here and talk to y'all about the One Piece chapter. Could have probably tried to get Kid to join, but seems that hasn't worked. I think he's tried it several times. Has he? I think that Kaido has been working on it ever since he captured him. But like you said, it's just not working. He's not breaking because of his will, the will of a conqueror, bro. Oh boy, Kid. Do you know how beast it's gonna be, man? The eventual panels with Luffy and Kid breaking out, and like you have Kid just going in, you have Luffy going in, man. Then it'll turn like into an Impel Down Marineford type of scenario where they're breaking out of this prison and they're heading towards Onigashima where they know Kaido resides, man. And they head there. Luffy and Ko with this other dude with the fish bones and Kid and whoever else they round up here in this prison will eventually go and meet up with the rest of the squads at Onigashima. Luffy arrives with Captain Kid. Luffy and Kid and the Alliance, the Straws, they just look at Kaido and they say, yo, square up, dog. Square up, man. Not even before we get into that. just Luffy and Kid. Luffy and Kid's their interactions, how they plan on getting out of the situation, finding out all of that out. And then when they actually manage to break out and seeing how they utilize their techniques together, the dialogue between the two, the rivalry between, oh man, dude, that's gonna cause for some great chapters, man. Great chapters that will eventually become great episodes in the anime. So excited for Kid and Luffy interactions, man. So excited. It's a lurking legend. I saw that a couple times today. Serious question for y'all, man. Who do y'all think the lurking legend the lurking legend is? Because to me, the way I interpret it is that I think the lurking legend is Im-sama, because it fits with it. The on how Oda said it's going to be the strongest or the biggest, the fiercest enemy that the Straw Hats have encountered so far, and it would make sense to me if it's Im-sama, because if it's the man that controls the world government, bro, if it is the king, then what fiercer enemy than that, But if it isn't him, then I don't know. I don't know who this, unless it's Rocks. So, and who's to say Rocks isn't Im-sama? Who's to say? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that they aren't one and the same person? So, I don't know. To me, I still think it's Im-sama, the whole lurking legend, man. Give me some water. But yeah, if this dude eating the fish bones is the lurking legend, Mugiwara Gaming called it, man. Mugiwara Gaming called it. Can't wait for the Rocks flashback when Big Mom and Kaido meet. Sam the Man, let's shoot. Yeah, that Rocks flashback, because of where I think Oda's going with this. Whenever Oda decides to tell the story of Dragon's past, why he decided to become a revolutionary, and which is going to intertwine with Luffy's birth and Luffy's mother and Garp, and seeing all that, I think that is whenever we'll get that, which will probably end up being an arc or two from now, whenever all that stuff starts going down. But that flashback's going to be really, really cool. Not only for us to see more about why it is that they call Garp the hero, but just to get more of how the world of One Piece was before Roger took over. We're going to see Kaido and Big Mom as just mere pirates, like rookies in a sense, like just rookies on a ship. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, this man Rocks is truly Nick Saban, and he has all these top tiers from the future on his ship. And he was duking it out with Garp, bro. Like, Garp is the G. This man Garp was taking on the strongest of the generations, man. He was taking on Rocks, and then having Shaki as well on that ship, man. That's going to be a great flashback. And how that manages to intertwine to Luffy's birth and why Dragon want to become a revolutionary, and the Celestial Dragons and Luffy's mother, and how all that's going to intertwine in there, because I'm pretty sure it will. It's gonna be very interesting to see. It's probably gonna be one of the better flashbacks in the story. It's Arlong. Oh man, I wouldn't mind Arlong. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Arlong. Pudding has been hysterical in the anime. I agree, Yak Attack, man. I agree. Pudding has been fantastic. Episode 852 was greatness for Pudding, man. That was a goat. That was a goat Pudding episode. Sanji's the lucky man. That's a shoot. Yo, I got the same T-shirt. Yo, Eto, man, you already know, bro. Goku Black greatness, man. Oh, it's a really nice shirt. I like the way that I wish like more shirts would have like this design with just other characters, right? Like You have like the black, and then you have the character in the middle, then the name, and then in Japanese writing. Like I would love like a One Piece, that's the thing, or like a Gintama one like this, or like a Kingdom one. Like I think a shirt like this would work really well with like Kingdom characters. Like put like Shin right here, or put like a Kyokai right here with like the black, and you have the red really sticking out right there, and then the character. Or you could have like a Luffy or Zoro silhouette right here, and then have that right there. I don't know. Let me make the shirts, Coach. I'll make some really good ones. Or like Gon in his state, like with the hair, with extremely long hair, and from episode 131, and that would look really cool in a shirt like this, or Jing or whatever. I think those would look really nice. No question, has he? No question. If Kid can use his double fruit, he's gonna manipulate the metal to break through everything. He's gonna destroy that iron mine. He's gonna go ham. Ricardo Silva says, "Do you think Luffy will awaken his devil fruit?" I am definitely one of those that thinks that he will. He will not master his awakening this arc, but I definitely think that he will awaken it in that final battle with Kaido. I think he will awaken his devil fruit. I think it's time. I think it's time. I think he is going to awaken during this fight with Kaido. Whoa. Whoa. Let me see. Yo, that is also a good comment there, Hazy. Hazy says Looking Legend is either M-Sama or Kaido, but it also needs to be someone with connection with Whitebeard. That is what that article said. Somewhat, because Oda kind of let that slip out and then took it back. We'll see, man. We'll see. If it needs to be somebody with Whitebeard, then it might end up being Rocks. Just based off of the timeline, but we don't know enough about Instant Messenger Sama. The Lurking Legend is Sogeking. Yo, Sogeking's more than a living legend, bro. That man's a 10th prestige commander, bro. That man's Sogeking. Even Im Sama fears in Sogeking's name. Sogeki Dashimase. I remember one time, a long time ago, on the old channel, I made a top 10 favorite One Piece characters list, and I put Sogeking at number one. And even though I was trolling, I was being halfway serious, and I made like I've talked for like 10 minutes about why Sogeking is the greatest and strongest character who ever lived, man. Good times. Good. I'd love Sogeking is the goat. I remember I made a theory video on the old channel for during the Dressrosa arc, saying that Sogeking will make his return during Dressrosa, bro. Those were good times, man. Those were now I look back on the nostalgia with nostalgia, bro. It was like 5 years ago. Now I think about it, it could just be Im could just be the Lurking Legend. I always thought that they were gonna be in Wano for some reason. And I'm telling you, man, it more than likely is gonna end up being Instant Messenger Sama. To me, it's either Im Sama or Rocks. Could have something to do with those by creatures in the fog before Thriller Bark. Ah, man, Mugiwara Gaming, bro. There's one of my friends on the on Twitter, and then just in general. His name is Shingochi. This man, every single time I think about the creatures in the fog before Thriller Bark, I always think of him, bro, because this man continues to talk about that. So one of these days, I need to have Shingochi just write me a really nice discussion / theory about that, because I'm really interested on his thoughts. Like, he's really in depth on that whole creatures in the fog before the bark thing. So I need to have him on one of these days. At the very least, to write a comment, and then I'll read it or something. But I think those creatures in the fog, I think Thriller Bark in general is going to be important for this arc. I mean, of course, we have the stuff with Ryuma, and the cursed sword and whatnot. But I think even further than that, man, I remember seeing a comment the other day that said that it could be a possibility that Kaido and Oars come from the same race, or from the same species at the very least. that Kaido and Oars are somewhat related to a certain extent. And I was fascinated by that because as you guys remember, when we were doing the afterthoughts for chapter 906, we were talking about how whenever Im-sama went up to get the giant straw hat, that insignia on top did look like the insignia that Oris has on his belt. But if Oars and that arc is also connected to Kaido, which that arc in of itself is already connected to Kaido because that arc was the first time that we got true mention of Wano, and with Gecko Moria getting obliterated by Kaido all those years ago and having PTSD to this very day because of it. All that would just come full circle, man. So I liked it. I like the idea. I like the idea of them somehow being connected. We're gonna get Sogeking 2.0 with a mask from Wano. If we get Sogeking 2.0 with a mask in Wano, it's over. It is over. Yo, Sogeking is catching dubs. Even Kaido fears Sogeking, dog. Rock's flashback means young Prime Garp. That's gonna be some beast moments. You're right, man. Young Prime Garp. Okay, Rama says the Mad D Monk is the lurking legend, yo. You might be, yo. The Mad D Monk is the lurking legend, coach. If Sniper King Sasori King shows up in Onigashima, this arc will be number 1. That might be a shoot, bro. You ain't even lying, dog. Let me see. Who do you think the Rock's captain is? I don't think that person has been introduced yet. I think the Rock's captain is someone that needs to be introduced. I don't think it's somebody that we've seen yet. The captain is lurking legend. Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. Like both of them being of the Oni race. Yeah. Sort of like it was a I forgot, like I was reading I read a comment that said it, but I haven't read the full on theory that I think is out there for it yet. I like the concept of the idea. Because you know how Oars is just this massive being, and we know how big Kaido is. And then of course like they have like specific features that are with their bodies and the connections with, maybe that's why Moria was so obsessed with gaining Oars' body, because he felt like this would be something that could actually take on Kaido. Because they're similar, because they're be equal. So I like the idea. I like the idea. What if he was in Moria's crew and has been captured all along? Who? The who are you talking about? Oars is Kaido's ancestor Gecko resurrected to fight him. Oars is Kaido's ancestor that Gecko resurrected to fight him. It could very well be the case. We don't know. It could very well be the case. What if Gecko Moria is in the cell? Bro, let me tell you something right now, man. If that's Gecko Moria in the cell, then this just got 30 times more entertaining. Because now we'll have bro, we'll have Gecko Moria, which actually has legitimate hatred for Kaido for what he did to his crew. And PTSD. We have Kid and we have Luffy, bro. Just a squad of Gecko Moria, Kid, and Luffy breaking into Onigashima. I'm all for it, coach. I'm all for it. Yakasak says Sogeking will return for sure. I think that'll be the same arc where he puts on the Sogeking mask and then takes it off and says, I don't need it because I am the Sniper King, bro. We're here fully come to grips with that. I think that would be really, really awesome to see in that arc. But I do agree with you. I think Sogeking for sure 100% will be an LBAF because that's going to be Usopp's arc right there. Do you think NL will come back during the final arc or before it? I'm gonna go ahead and say before it, but I think he'll definitely be in the final arc for sure. Um, but I think before it, NL. Well, that's tough. It depends whenever Oda decides to have the moon play a factor into the story. I'm just gonna go ahead and say before it. I'm gonna go ahead and say before it. Oh, the guy in the cell. Oh, okay, gotcha. Mugiwara Gaming. So you're saying that the guy in the cell might have been a part of Moria's crew. That's interesting. I think the beast in the cage is an awakened calamity, and they keep him there because otherwise he would wreck him. See, I love that idea as well. See, Rosinante, earlier I was saying that the person in the cell could possibly be a traitor who was once under Kaido, but also an awakened calamity could work too. Like he is the reason why they continue to feed him is because he is somebody who works for Kaido and was under Kaido, but he has to be kept in a cell because if he doesn't, then he's just gonna end up wrecking everything. So they only release him during certain instances. So I could see that as well, Rosinante. I feel like Ordo is already trying to hint to us who it is with the whole poisonous fish thing and it still being alive. That's a good point. That is a good point. And it will be at Raftel because Raftel's on the moon. Is that a shoot, Yak? I know I've seen that before, but do you think that's a shoot? Some people have theorized that Oris was connected to Onigashima because Oris was frozen and we have always seen snow falling in Onigashima. Yo, I haven't seen that theory yet. Thank you very much for posting that, bro. Some people have theorized that Oris was connected to Onigashima because Oris was frozen and we've always seen snow falling in Onigashima. That's fascinating. I'm gonna keep that in my mind as well. I need to reread through the bark, man. That's what I need to do. I know that yeah, I'm just gonna say screw it. I need to give it another reread because I feel like that's another one of the arcs that every time I reread it, I really end up enjoying it. And the last time I experienced that arc, I was rewatching it. Whenever I rewatched it in the dub when it was airing on Toonami, that was the last time I completely went through that arc again. And so that was like a year or 2 years ago. Actually, no. Whichever one came first. It was whenever either Toonami was doing it or whenever Khan was watching it. Because I watched both. So that was the last time I watched the bark. So I need to go back and reread it again, man. Get some more insight on that Oris scenario. Yo, Solar Glitch, man, what's good, bro? He says, who do you think used the hockey near the end? The mystery dude in the cell or Kid? So people said that Kid used the hockey on the soldiers. Maybe he finally unlocked it. Well, Kid does have Conqueror's King hockey, but hmm. Hold on, Coach. Let me go back to the final page. Page 15. Wait, which of the soccer you're talking about? Who do you think used the hockey near the end? Mr. Dude in the cellar, Kid. Which instance of hockey are you talking about? Solar, can you let me know which thing of hockey are you talking about? I'm trying to see here, and I don't see any usage of hockey. I just see somebody getting pulverized by fish bones. Let me see. Pickle Flame says Red Dead Redemption is a good game. I need to get that, man. I need to play Steel Ball Run 2. Steel Ball Run Part 2. All right, guys, I'm going to keep going for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep. But thank y'all so much for stopping by, man. I really do appreciate it. Let me see. I'll be in here for a couple more minutes. I think it will, Hazzy. Hazzy says, I wonder if the cover story of the Moon People will play a role in the story along with NL. I most certainly think it will. No question. That's a high possibility, Vice Admiral Strawberry. The dude is just in the cells by one of Kinemon's allies. It's definitely one of those possibilities. Sandman says, "Lol, that sucks. It's the first time I stayed here and watched it for so long. I love the King reaction. Is damn Recon. Wait, what happened, Sam the Man? What happened? What do you say that sucks? Nicholas Alexander says, if Luffy were to die in the end, I could see a panel where Luffy is fighting in the final war. He says, if this is my time to die, then at least I could die as a king. Wait, yo, that's a beast line, bro. If this is my time to die, then at least I could die as a king. The GOAT. Yo, my boy Speak. What's good, man? My main man Speak. I don't know. Yeah, that's true as well, Derek Davis. I had to die as the freest man in the seas. Big facts. That's so Luffy right there. Yeah, North Side, man. Where's my boy Kraku? D aisle, bro. Oh, Silverglitch says page number 6. Okay, let's see. Page 6, page 6, page 6. Oh no, man, that was Luffy. For the Conqueror's Haki that was used, that was Luffy. Luffy Luffy knocked him unconscious, even though he was unconscious. He knocked him unconscious as well. All right, man, Straw Gamer, bro. Thank you very much, yo. Cinemas, thank you for your reactions and afterthoughts. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for sticking with me, bro, through these long videos, man. I always appreciate those of you who stick with me for these, man, because I know there's a lot of rambling and there's a lot of long videos, but shout out to people who are still here, yo. We're still here. Michael says a couple more minutes usually mean 20 to 30, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's a big fact. That's a big fact. Where's the MVP of Marineford? Buggy? I mean, I don't know what Buggy's up to, bro. You know, but let me see. Well, last time we saw a Crocodile in chapter 903 was he was reading a newspaper, but we don't know what that building that he was in was. So and North Side, two weeks from now, anybody could show up literally. So we'll see what happens. The lurking legend, bro. Do you think all Conqueror's Haki users have different spirits, sort of like stands from JoJo? That is an interesting question. It's because we don't know enough about hockey. Just based off of what we know so far, I kind of want to go with no. Because it looks like Conqueror's Haki can do a lot of the same things. Like that certain characters that we've seen utilize hockey. It feels like like a lot of them allow you to do the same thing as the others can. Like for example, we've seen Shanks knock people out with his Conqueror's King Hockey. Apparently, Shushinmaru said that he saw Odin utilizing an ability like that as well. So it is like knocking other people out with your will is a pretty common thing when it comes to Conqueror's King Hockey. But if they do have if they do have individuals characteristics for the King's Hockey, then it's just something that we have not seen yet. But I think that could be something that Oda could play around with later on if he wanted to. Sleep is still uploading so many GOAT reaction vids. Yeah, it's Solar Glitch be going ham, man. My boy Solar be going ham with a clutch reaction vids, man. Brendan says, how strong do you think Odin was? Ibishu tomorrow, who is around Jack level and he has King's Hockey. I think that Odin is I'm trying to compare him to something. I'm gonna say that Odin was in his prime. I'm gonna put him in that Yonko Commander tier, like in that tier of Yonko Commander, where I'm not saying he's like on the same level on the same level per se as Rayleigh, because I don't think Rayleigh is just based off of what we know. It's probably way more, much more stronger overall than him. But I think I have Odin around that area. I think that's a safe assumption. But that is a good question. Because Shushinmaru, look, he casually went in on Jack, These streams are the reason why I love being in the community. Thank you. Yo, Hazy, man. Thank you, yo. Thank you. And if y'all weren't in here, man, it's just like you said. This is the reason why I love this community so much. Just being able to talk with other people about a series that we all love and speculate and just think about the greatness and the awesome sauce that's going to happen in the future. But I agree with you. Streams like these and conversations like this is why I love being in the community so much. So thank you, Hazy. Thank you for being a part of it. Axel Bob says, "Hey, it's the morning here. Holy crap! It's almost morning for me too, which is why I need to get some sleep." Oh man! All right, Rosinante, have a good night, yo. Thank you very much for stopping by. Static says Jinbei is MVP in Marineford. That is definitely a strong argument right there. Definitely a strong argument. Solar Glitch says, I love the streams. Have a peaceful night, bro. All right, Solar Glitch, man. Have a good night, my friend. Speak says in before Teach steals that Kaido Devil Fruit. Yeah, man, we were talking about that earlier. About OP he could possibly be having all three of those fruits. Kaido's, Whitebeard's, and his, man. Good Flagnards, bro. That'd be crazy. Having all three of them. All right, yo. I'll do a couple more comments. And then I think we'll be good to go. This is an awesome stream, man. I didn't expect to go this long, but I'm kind of glad that I did. We got to talk about a lot of really awesome theories and discussions for the future of the series. Roger's crew is full of Conqueror's cocky users, but Buggy has Conqueror's confirmed. Yeah, I think it's been confirmed for a long time, man. And Buggy might have like legit. Buggy might actually have it, bro. Like we may play around with this, but I think Buggy. Can you imagine Buggy one day just pulls it out, man? Conqueror's Gigagia. Exactly, has he knows? Yeah, of course. Why else would everybody impel down follow him? My man's got level 6ers on him. Let him know, North Side, bro. My boy Buggy got the level 6ers. Level 6ers. Yo, I see Ali in the comments right here. I don't see the message though. For some reason, it's like it's gone. I just see the name. I was so happy to see Rican invitation to join the Reverie streams. Yo, those Reverie streams were dope, man. They were dope. I was just thinking about I don't even remember when the last one took place. Oh yeah, I think the last one took place after the hat. The last one took place, I think, after the giant straw hat reveal. I think that's when the last one took place. So it's been a while. What do you think of Eustace Kid this chapter, Recon? Well, Mister Fellas, there's so much to think whenever it comes to Kid in this chapter. I mean, a great revelation on him having Conqueror's hockey. Not only that, but for him to have the will of the Conqueror, for even after getting whooped by Kaido, he still wants to come back and get more of that. That was big respect, big props to Kid right there. But to finally have Kid back in the story again, to have him Luffy in the same place at the same time, is really, really important. But I think Kid's gonna have a massive role to play, as we all predicted and expected him to have in Wano, especially after getting in prison in chapter 824. But as far as in this chapter goes, it was just really cool to see him again, man. And I think it's gonna be really nice to whenever he does break out and he has this full thing of iron to just mess around with in metal. He's gonna have a freaking field day whenever he breaks out. Yeah, I agree. I agree, yo. But Buggy's Derek Davis says Buggy might have it and just not know. I'm 100%. I'm 100% on there. Michael Mickle says, "Will Jinbei come to Wano with Big Mom?" That's an interesting question. Like you're saying that if Jinbei will come at the same time as Big Mom, like together. Hmm. See, that's tough because I can see them arriving at the same time, but not necessarily together. Is that what you're saying? Like whenever you're saying with Big Mom, are you saying at the same time? Because if he does arrive with Big Mom, that would mean that there'd be like a completely different mindset when it comes to the Charlotte family and why it is that they're coming here. That's an interesting question. I didn't even think about that. But you know what? Now that you say it, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes because it would make sense from a storytelling standpoint. That the reason why Oda has not included Jinbei, or he said that he didn't want to spoil something with Jinbei's design for a color page. So with that being said, it's probably because he's saving it for that. Whenever that happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, Michael Michaels. I think Jinbei will come to Wano with Big Mom. Sensomaru guarding Vegapunk. Yo, man. That would be that would be really cool, and it would connect that. It would connect that all really, really well with the Kuma situation and whatnot. Have you heard the theory going around that Sentomaru is in the Kozuki clan and he covers his foot up to cover up the insignia? I have not seen that theory, but now that you bring it up, I'm gonna have to search up more on it. That's fascinating. Let me just real quick. What's one thing you definitely want to see happen in Wano? What's one thing? There's so many things, dog. Um, of course, number one panel I'm looking forward to seeing is the Straw Hat reunion. Of course, all the Straw Hats coming back together. But I'm trying to think of one thing exclusive to this arc. One thing that I would like to see happen that is not like a confirmed thing that is going to happen is that I would like to get a chapter dedicated to Shogun Orochi talking to the people of Wano, because I want to know how it is that he interacts with the people of Wano. And it could be a chapter of him delivering a speech in front of all of these people, or it could simply just be a panel of him just talking to all of them, like person by person, and just seeing how he interacts with the people of Wano, because it would just give me more insight into the way that he is, because we know, or we assume, that he's a corrupted dude, um, just based off of what we've seen so far, and that he's a person who fears the eventual uprising of those who want to fulfill Odin's wishes. But I want to know how he interacts with all of the people within Wano. I want to know what kind of leader he is and what kind of person he is in front of them. Not necessarily what kind of person he actually is, but what kind of person is he in front of the cameras, and why it is why it is that they look up to him so much. So that's one thing that I want to see happen in Wano is a chapter dedicated to that. One thing that I want to see happen in Wano, in terms of actually here in Wano, is that I want to see a panel between, also saying on the Orochi thing. I would also like to see Robin and Orochi actually have a conversation. Whenever Robin actually manages to get there, and I want to see how that conversation will go down, because obviously she would start asking the hard questions. But how would she go about that? Not only that, but how would Orochi respond to that? You know what I'm saying? And would Orochi, like, if he were to catch on to the fact that she's trying to get information out of her or out of him, then how would he react to that? Because just based off of the way that they talk about him, they talk about him like he's some sort of coward, you know. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to think about him. I want to know more about Shogun Orochi. Now, staying away from Wano and going into the Battle of Onigashima, um, just one more thing when it comes to your question. Another thing that I would really like to see from that battle in particular would be not necessarily something from a storytelling standpoint, but something from in terms of panel structure. You guys know how Oda so far in this arc has been delivering double page spread after double page spread after double page spread. I would love for the Battle of Onigashima to have several mass spreads in the same way that he had for Marineford. Whenever you had all those Marines in the back and you had Marineford right there behind him, and it just caused for glorious, glorious double spreads. You saw all this chaos happening right there, but you could still see which dudes were who. Like, it was just fodder and stick figures all over this place. There was detail on all these characters, man. Really made it very, very impressive. So let's see. I mean, I don't want to kill Oda or anything, but I would like to see some panels like that, just showing the big, like the massive scale of this battle in a spread multiple times, like they did during Marineford. I think it would be a really cool little touch from an art standpoint, to see some more of that, and also to see more stuff from how he's going to play around with the whole Japanese mythology. And I wonder what the damn octopus is going to pop up again and be important from chapter 910. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Let me see. Eureka. Before I'm gonna read these right here. Eureka, what would King's Hockey do besides knocking out weaklings? Restoration Hockey has future sights so far. I think Armament Hockey will have a force field. What do you think? Armament Hockey having a force field, like Armament Hockey, legit. Like what you're saying is that before they get to past a certain point to where you are, like they wouldn't be able to punch. Like you would have a legit a force field in front of you that would cause people to stop. At least if they went for a punch, they're gonna be punching in the face because you have this force field in front of you. Just because we don't know enough about hockey, man. But that's a fascinating concept. Just staying on the whole spirit thing. Force fields of hockey. But in terms of going back to your initial question, when it comes to the Kings hockey, that's also interesting too. I mean, I'm going to assume that maybe having Kings hockey might be connected to a little bit of the voice of all things, but I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Because not everybody can hear. Not everybody has the voice of all things. You know what I'm saying? But why is it that Odin and Momonosuke can do it alongside Luffy? And the thing that all three of them are eventually, because I'm going to assume Momo's going to have it too. But the thing that Odin and Luffy have in common is the Conqueror's King hockey. And Shushin even says it like that. That's what was Odin's ability. So Eto says, what if Orochi is genuinely a good guy to the people, but Kaido is the one imposing all his factories onto him, and he obviously can't refuse Kaido? That would be interesting too, as well, right? I thought about that before. Like I've always thought about whether Shogun Orochi was somebody who was actually close to Odin, or somebody who didn't want to do what he did, but he had to do it out of a certain scenario, a certain circumstance. Just a thought. But I agree with you there, Eto. That's definitely a possibility. Robin won't get to meet Orochi if she keeps making faces like the one we saw today. That might be a hard shoot, bro. That might be a hard shoot. Oh man, but yeah, guys, yeah, we've almost been going for 3 hours, man. I appreciate it for everybody who stopped by, man. This is an awesome afterthought stream talking about 924 and a lot of greatness that could come from here on out, 925 and beyond. It was absolute greatness, man. Just before we wrap up, I just once again I want to say thank you to everybody who already left to go to sleep. Those of you guys are still awake, man, I really do appreciate it. And for those of you who are watching this after it's gone live, man, this is a pretty long video. And for you to have watched all this, shout out to y'all. I really do appreciate it. Before I go off the air, I just want to say one more time, I'm planning on rereading the Wano arc next week. And I want to do a recons piece based on the first act on the Wano arc, just going through it again and talking about overall thoughts and stuff like that. So I want to do a recons piece just dedicated to that. Look forward also to a Sulong episode reaction whenever that drops. I believe that's episode 862. So whenever that comes out, I can't wait to do a reaction to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. At the end of the year, I'm planning on having a One Piece best chapter of the year stream that could possibly turn into a tourney. I like the best-selling manga in history's idea on that. So we'll see. I'll think about that and see how that goes. And then soon, I will be starting the movie / OVA recon pieces, going through each OVA / movie in the series leading into the 20th anniversary movie coming out next year. So I want to start doing that soon, starting off with the Pirate Gonzack OVA from 1998. I want to do that one, and then, of course, movie 1 after that. But I don't know when I'm going to get around to that. Right now, I'm just taking one step at a time, and we'll see where that goes. But for sure, next week we'll be talking about Wano again with the first act. For right now, man, this has been the chapter 924 Afterthoughts. I'll see y'all next time, sometime in the future, man. I will see y'all. As far as when it comes to some other of the series in the channel, Hunter x Hunter, I'm waiting until the Viz comes out. I talked to Araragi about it before I got here on stream. And I'm still thinking about whether I want to react to it or not, because I've been told that this chapter I should not react to it. Instead, I should just do a discussion / review on it. So I'm thinking about it. Now I'm definitely gonna wait for the Viz though, and that'll give me some time to think about it. And then when it comes to in terms of reactions, the next set of reactions I want to do is for Kingdom. I really want to catch back up to Kingdom. So I'm gonna try to focus on, if I can't do anything else reaction wise, I want to do Kingdom next, and then of course I want to do my One Piece Wano video next week as well. But I really want to thank y'all for the awesome sauce, man. Thank you so much for being a part of this code stream. I had a blast. 3 hours of greatness, man. 3 hours of greatness. It's going to be an awesome next couple of. It's just a great time to be a part of the One Piece, well, the weekly One Piece experience, and you guys always make it the best with the community and how good y'all always are, and delivering great comments and theories and that stuff, man. It's always dope, bro. But thank you so much. Peace, and I hope all of you have an awesome day, man. For that One Piece greatness.